Uh, what's up, YouTube? This is Clown's Paranormal Adventures. We're gonna run a cryptid live stream tonight. Expecting Ryan Tremblay, a few other people to show up here directly. I'm hoping they show up. If not, we'll still run some cryptid stuff. Go Have a question answer there. You have a question, I'll answer if I can. I do not claim to be an expert, but I am interested in anything cryptid. It's Cloud's Paranormal Adventures. I'm up here with Alan and Rosie from Alan and Rosie's Adventures. We're in an undisclosed location in Alabama, deep in the piney woods, at this old abandoned church. Floors are soft. All right, once again, Cloud's Paranormal Adventures. Oh, so sometimes go by Ace Explorers Paranormal. Here at this abandoned church. They've been growled at in here before. Seen orbs. Oh, floor is soft. Oh, this place is falling to pieces. Hello there, Arcade. How you doing? There's a bird feather. All right. Whoa, how you doing there, Arcade? Hope you're having a good night. Ooh, big do a cryptid cast here. Good. Glad to hear it, bro. Glad to hear it. Ooh. So, yep, I'm gonna run some cryptid stuff there. From Venomous Friends. Venomous Friends is one really awesome channel. I'll get you from Canada, Vancouver, cool. See, I know a lot of nice people from Vancouver, from Canada. Hell yeah. Ooh. All right, anybody tuning in there, hope you hit the like, share, subscribe button. Very nice to meet you too, sir. Hey, hope you hit that like and share button. I'm gonna grab me a Coke. I'm gonna start up something there. Hey, what kind of cryptids you like? You interested in cryptids? I've been running cryptid stream here. Oh, you're a girl? Oh, my apologies. I'm sorry. Ryan. He's this evil ain't here. I'm gonna have to holler for it. Ryan. Haha. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I'm out of cigarettes. I'm gonna have to run downstairs to grab a pack. Ooh, how you doing there, Ron? All right, let's see. Right, let's see. We gotta look him up. Ooh, we'll find a good one to start up now. For everybody that just started watching the stream or live, whichever you prefer, hey, I've been run cryptid video now from the Venomous Friends. I'm gonna put the link in the channel. Ask if you'll please check out the Venomous Friends. They do some awesome work. Ron there can answer a lot of questions. There's stuff there he can answer there that I'm not familiar with. Ron, the expert there. I'm kind of new to the stuff. Here we go.
Life, you're gonna have to marry.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Venomous Fringe. Tonight's episode is going to be a little different as we decide that during the weekdays we'll upload one episode on par with regular Sunday at 9 programming of the 10 Tales of Dogman. Do keep in mind that this is not a YouTube channel dedicated to 100% Dogman, but other topics as well. Just an FYI. Tonight we're going to discuss an encounter coming from Oregon. For the protection of this individual, I'm going to give him the name of Alex. Thank you, Alex, for submitting this story. And for you guys, get ready. Be by the bonfire. Have the nice burning warmth chirp through the wood. And prepare for a Dogman encounter. I grew up loving the outdoors. I never had a bad encounter outside. I've always seen deer, bears, cougars, you know it. My father was a hunter and salesman, whereas my mom was a stay-at-home. We always liked to go down south of Oregon to a cabin we'd rent every summer when we would have the warm weather approved. I'd always had a thought to more in life. I always believed that there was more to life. I know that sounds a little silly, and maybe it might allude to my encounter, but I will say that I did have a pretty interesting mindset on what roamed the woods at night, especially if you'd go down every summer to a cabin. By 2015, I had already graduated college. My girlfriend and I were on the verge of moving into a new home. On the property lines, however, I wanted to at least spend another summer at the cabin, this time without my family. I had spoken to my father about it, and he was perfectly comfortable with my girlfriend and myself going down to the cabin to enjoy ourselves. When we went down there, it felt rural. It felt like there was more and more less people every year as time went on. It felt a little strange going down and not noticing a couple of people that we'd always see no longer be there. I felt maybe they just decided to not give up the cabin anymore and sell it to somebody else and have them rent it out. But even no renters were coming in either. That was a little strange, but when we came down to our ends of the cabin, we were lucky to be there in paradise, as always. By dusk, we had a small campfire, telling spooky stories and enjoying ourselves. We had a beautiful lake surround us from behind. On top of that, where we stood, we had an amazing view of the sunset, with the birds chirping and the animals in the background far in the forest running around. We were having a relaxing time. By 9 p.m., we put out the campfire and proceeded to go inside. I felt a weird presence before I left and went indoors. It felt mysterious, but it was right when I was putting out the fire. Something told me, or something in general, something mysterious was watching me. Maybe that was a slight bit of paranoia, who knows, but it was quite mysterious for time being. We went inside. We decided to lay down. We had a no residential Wi-Fi, no nothing in these cabins. So we only had our phones. So we decided to watch a little something on a portable DVD player that we had bought from ages ago. After watching a few movies, and by the time it hit 11:30, we decided to go ahead and crash. We crashed for a little while, my girlfriend dead asleep. I myself was up for a little bit of time being, and by 2 a.m., I woke up instantly. For some mysterious reason, I just got up and I didn't understand why. It was right then and there where I sort of realized that I felt like I was being watched again. But I kept my instincts to myself and I kept quiet. We had a couple windows open in the cabin and I decided to shut them as it felt a little too chilly. My body temperature probably telling me to shut them down, whereas my instincts were telling me otherwise. When I shut all the windows and went to go grab myself a glass of water, I took a couple gulps and proceeded to head back to the room. The hallway has a window facing straight ahead, so you're going to look straight ahead before you make the right into the bedroom. And on that window, there was a creature staring right at me. I could see through its red eyes, the red eyes of evil as I could see. It sat there staring at me, looking at my every move as I sat there face to face with it. We were behind a window, but that didn't matter. This thing could have came in and attacked me either or. It had any option, it had any value. It could have attacked me. It didn't. It just stood there and stared at me. It grinned. Keep in mind, the lights were out and the moon was shining, so I was able to get a good look at the snout and teeth. And those things looked terrible. They looked like they were monstrous. It's something you'd see out of a hellhound.
Yeah, had fun there,
But the
Ron.
mysterious part about it was the red eyes.
Hell yeah. She said that thing knocked her camera over. It's on a tripod. She had it got it on video of the arm reaching in there.
60 seconds.
So she run and grabbed on her four-wheeler, and the four-wheeler's electrical system was messing up. It was
It
surging.
let out an awful howl.
Her four-wheeler was surging.
That was very
And it wouldn't
disturbing.
run right until she got way away from it before it started running again. She come on Livestream tonight when I was at Cobb.
That's my encounter. I didn't say much afterwards to my girlfriend. She was dead asleep. I had no clue what these things were, and I didn't even bother to go back to the cabin the following year. I told my parents I didn't feel comfortable anymore going to the cabins and felt that it was time to give up the cabin lifestyle. I didn't want to make that decision, but I didn't feel comfortable or even safe, as childish as this might sound, to see such a creature there so menacing and so intimidating. My girlfriend even asks me to this day why I don't go out into the woods. Not as much. And we're expecting our first child. One day I hope I can have the strength to talk to her and tell her about what I saw, but at the same time, for the protection of my future child and my family, it's best not to say. I hope this encounter can help others come forward about their experiences with the mysterious Dogman creature. That is all. Thank you everybody for watching this video, and I hope it was interesting. We will see you on Sunday.
So get this, every 1.23 seconds, a new user goes to Wix.com and starts creating a professional website. That's 70,000 go-getters joining every day. Wow. They're already growing their businesses online. So what about you? First, go to Wix.com. Start from scratch or choose from hundreds of beautiful designer templates.
All right, we're going to take about a 2-minute break, here on the stream, and I'm going to start back on cryptids again. But yeah, Ryan, if you're looking on my this last live stream I done earlier, she was on live and told us her story. She comes from Simply Southern Paranormal on YouTube. Her YouTube channel is Simply Southern Paranormal. I talked with her. She said she's got about 40 years into the paranormal. Good level head on her shoulders. She got it together, bro. She was not flaky at all. She's solid. She's telling me it was out there and it happened. I believe her fully that it happened. She said a long brown arm with hair and claws reached into the tent, grabbed her. She had her camera in there on a tripod, knocked the camera over, and she says the video is on her live stream or on her YouTube channel. I'm not sure which one it is though. I didn't ask which video, but I'm thinking it's the one. She got the name of it as werewolf or something about werewolf in it. She got several videos, but long story short, though, she said her four-wheeler would not run right. The electrical system was bugging up on her, surging and acting up until she got completely away from wherever that thing was that grabbed her. I figure it was a damn Bigfoot come in on her. But let's start back on the show here again. Sorry for the interruption, everybody. I hope everybody will sit there, leave comments there for Venom, friends. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow. If I can get to 1,000 subs, I can monetize my channel. Get the virus out the way. Can see about starting in traveling. I want to go to Waverly Hills, Tombstone, Arizona, go to Boot Hill Cemetery, Bobby Mackey's. Bro, I can think of a bunch of places. If I can get monetized, that'll help with some of the bills that for traveling. Without further ado, back to our program.
Every part is complete.
For years, eyewitnesses have been seeing mysterious upright canine creatures that they cannot describe, and has left many mystery into the world. It is unknown what lurks around these creatures, but with sketches, drawings, and thousands of accounts, the mystery is. Join us as we talk about Dogman, the most terrifying cryptid in the world. Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of the 10 Tales of Dogman. Tonight's episode is dedicated to the folk in Wisconsin as we discuss the Wisconsin Dogman. And tonight's guest is none other than Ricardo Sanchez, who has a lot of stories to talk to us about involving this subject. Ricardo, welcome to the 10 Tales of Dogman. How are you tonight, my friend?
I'm doing good, Chris. You're very good.
So, Ricardo, give us a little brief bio on who you are and, of course, what got you into the Dogman field.
Well, I'm a correctional officer by trade. I've been trained in everything that has to do with the emergency response unit at the prisons. So I'm used throughout the state in case an emergency strikes. I'm also CIP certified, which is a crisis intervention partnership, which are the people that help before a crisis intervention or a negotiation team comes in. Also, I train dogs. At my property, I have a dog club that joins every 2 weeks to train dogs. Like the outdoors, like the hike. But pretty much that's about it.
Very interesting profession too. It's pretty nice training dogs, and how ironic, training dogs and then into the dogman realm. It's quite coincidental, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is.
Where did it begin for you with Dogman? Because it's interesting because Wisconsin is one of the original states for the activity, whether it be Bray Road and all that. So for you, I mean, where did it start with you with Dogman and how it all began?
Well, if I want to go back when I was younger, I've always had a fascination with werewolves and stuff like that. And obviously, when you look at some of those stuff, it just brought me into the word Dogman. And obviously, first few years, I'd say you're more of a laptop researcher, reading stories and encounters and what happens, and that sparks your interest. And I've always had theories of what people were seeing, and I remember talking to William Goffey once about those theories and what I thought about it. But it wasn't really until you begin to see stuff in the woods yourself that aren't explainable that you begin to go more into details on really figuring out what is a dogman and all that stuff has to do with it.
I agree 100%. That's basically where it all started myself as well with fascination. And for the state of Wisconsin, the number one question I want to ask you, well, at least one of the top questions is, have you ever visited Bray Road?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Many years ago, I visited Bray Road, went up and down it. Although it wasn't an off road because obviously it's more civilized now. But yes, that was the first road I visited when I came to Wisconsin was that one.
It's interesting when with Wisconsin with the whole activity with Dogman, the Beast of Bray Road, and for the fact being is that you've also yourself have conducted a lot of research in the time you've been to Wisconsin and living there. What would be the biggest factor you'd have to say that plays into being a researcher in Dogman? Like, what's the most important thing when you're out in the field? What is the thing that you look for? What is the number one thing you're out to get when you're in the field?
Behaviors. I think that's one of my biggest things. Obviously, because I deal with dogs, and behavior or knowing the why an animal does something can get you either killed or save your life. And because there's many terrifying encounters that people have had, the idea of trying to figure out why they do something or the why of something can cause people to not only sleep better at nighttime because maybe their perception of what happened might be different, but also help them continue on with their lives. So I'm not really focused on pictures and stuff like that, although I have some things, but mostly on behavior and character.
Now, that's a first to a lot of researchers out there who, and I'm not saying in particular, but I'm just saying in general, when you're out in the field, you always want to get the best evidence, you want to get the best photographs, you want to get the best um, hair samples, best footprints, and whatnot. And of course, but for behavior instinct, that's also pretty interesting. Now, you mentioned beforehand when we were speaking about how we spoke of what you think in the theory of what their fascination of food is. Can you go into a little bit of detail about that?
Well, I've not only through my own research, but through my networking with multiple people that have dogman property, I realized that they're pretty much like a coyote or a wolf. They're omnivores. They take what they can get. And that sparked because in the group that I have in my property that were coming in and out, I realized that stalks of corn were rather ripped off or taken off from the top, and that really sparked a curiosity because when they were here, there was no deers around, there was no rabbits, birds weren't all over the place. It was a quiet property. Everything kind of had just vanished or left. So I was trying to figure out why is the corn disappearing. And so I started asking, I started, looking into that and whatnot. And I realized through the networking and through other people's personal situations, not only my own, that they will actually take corn, they'll take fruits, watermelons, plums, and like any other canine, whether it's a coyote or a wolf, even though that might not be their main food source, it is a treat for them, which then comes to the conclusion why sometimes they're seen more during the harvest season. Well, obviously because of all these different treats that are being grown, they will probably be able to go there and take corn, take watermelons. Now, obviously, once you're there, you see a deer because they're probably there for the corn as well. Well, it's common sense for us to think that once they're there and they see a deer, they'll take down the deer. But in my mind, are they there for the deer, or is the deer just a consequence of them being there for the first thing they were there present for, which was the fruits and the corns and the whatever is being harvested in that field.
That's an interesting theory too, and it's not very common for people to say, "Oh, well, that's a corn," that they have a fascination with corn, and that's their substance for it. And it's an interesting theory, and of course, I support it because it's a possibility, and on the verge of it. It's an interesting thing to think about because of what are their main food sources. We would think of deer, and we would think of typical wildlife animals, but possibility of a substance similar to what we eat as well, like corn. That is also pretty interesting, I will say. When it comes to sightings that you've collected or from sightings of your own, now, to get things off the record here, you yourself have ever had a Dogman sighting?
Multiple Dogman sightings, not only on my property, on other people's property, and in the woods itself.
Would it be okay if you would like to share a couple of those encounters, if you feel comfortable sharing them, of course, after all, or if you wish, share any other encounters that you've collected yourself, by all means, go right ahead.
Well,
Hey, what's up, Clown?
Hey
the
there.
first time that I'll say
All right, I'll hit the pause button.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Hey, we fix to take a quick pause here. We got Ryan Tremblay on panel from the Venomous Fringe, and we're gonna get him to talk with Simply Southern Paranormal. She's had a cryptid experience during the past. We're gonna discuss that. If she's
Coming up on panel or?
yeah, I'll see if she won't come up. I'll put the link out there.
Okay.
All righty there, Simply. You still there? Hey, we got Ron here. Just wanting to talk to you about your cryptid encounter. Hell, you do the talking, Ron. You the expert. Hey, I'm a
I
late.
wouldn't say expert. I just say I'm very well trained in cryptids.
Ooh, see? Come up
Been
on
around the
panel
block a few
with us.
times.
Hell yeah. Come up on the panel with us there. I've got the link dropped. I'll start the 10 Tales of Dogman up again there in a little bit.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I've dropped the link. I've put the link out there and shared for both videos, bro.
We appreciate you. By God.
My God. Oh yeah, I don't sit there and share my video out with your video in it.
Mm-hmm.
I share your video out, I comment, like it, and then I share mine with it on there.
Oh, well, that's definitely appreciated, dude. That helps us out, too.
Hell yeah, bro. I'm talking about y'all all day long there. Bring up about the Venomous Friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have you on our show, dude. That's going to be a blast.
Hell yeah. Chris told me Saturday. That link I've got right above where you say, what link do I hit? Right there. It says StreamYard. Click on it, come up on panel. It says StreamYard.com.
Oh, Venom's here too. What's up, Venom?
There we go. All right. I'm going to kind of sit back and be quiet and let you do the talking. Hey, Venom.
Oh, everybody's here now, huh? There she is.
Hey, Simply.
My camera is looking, guys. I don't know what's going on. It's distorted. It looks crazy in here. Do y'all see a bunch of blurry stuff?
I do, yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, it makes me want to call an old priest and a young priest.
That is really.
Christ tells you.
Hey,
Come
I
on
need
up.
this house is so.
Hey,
Whoa.
You're funny, clown.
Hey, how
there
about
we go.
that?
That's good. Good to see you.
I don't know. It won't. That'll work.
There you go.
But yeah, you guys,
We can hear
the
you.
whole with me going out in the woods and everything, I did not go out looking for any type of Dogman. To be quite honest with you, I heard all over in Mississippi my entire didn't believe it. I'm more into the ghost suckers all the time. They interact with me constantly.
Right.
But I went out there to haunted DC Confederate camp where my North went, and there's a month, and then of the $13 home to their family. Well, it was a lot of death there, so it is extremely haunted. To take my sleeping bag and my four-wheeler and drive out 4 hours. I went out there, I set up my sleeping bag, set up all my cameras, didn't even light a fire. Laid down, and it was about, I'm saying 10:30 at night, I finally dozed off. I had both cameras aimed at the time. And I was like, oh, here, or it's a whole, don't have any bear ghost. So I really big. I figured maybe a coyote. So I grabbed my sidearm and I set up and I was looking around with the flashlight just to make sure. I never seen anything went like quiet. So I dozed off again and I wake up to steps like pow, 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 pow running through the woods, and it startled me. So you ever get that feeling where something is like, you know that they're back looking at you? Well, I happened to turn back and I turned my head around to look. I did. You can see it because it's caught on video. It's this big, long, hairy arches out, and he smacks me. He hit me so hard. Like, oh my God. When I threw the flashlight, I see was a gray, like shaggy looking mist running on 2 legs hitting the woods. I seen no face, no what it was in here. Just kept my mouth closed about it and didn't say anything. And my husband actually noticed it and said, that isn't on. So we were going through all of it, and thing had been messing with my camera. It walked up, blacks the camera, one of the cameras off of the four-wheeler, and turns around and like fidgeting with it, picking up the camera, like moving it side to side like this. What in the hell is a camera like this? Like it's, focusing on something intelligent, and it must have had a hand. But the crazy thing about it, scared me so bad. My sleeping bag, I jumped on my four-wheeler crank. It cranked up for a second and it completely died. About, I'm saying maybe 2 trailhead, and everything went completely power brought myself on my four-wheeler. I had to finish walking out of the woods the rest of the way home. And we're talking in the morning, no flash cell phone light, nothing. Just depleted.
That'd be
Now, like
frightening.
Clown told me that sometimes people like say that Sasquatch does that. That's something I don't know, but I've never had
That's
at the
common.
same time.
Yeah, it's very common with the Sasquatch encounters. Cameras and whatnot will lose
All
battery.
of this is.
Yeah.
See, I made sure that I got it all on, uploaded everything because, like,
Would you mind
no,
if
it's not. I'm What?
Would you mind if Clown showed me the video?
You care
No,
about
that's
share the video?
Yeah, Clown.
No,
let me see.
go for
All
it.
right,
Play that for me.
It's
See what's
under
going on.
it. Haunted CC. That's the name of the video. I didn't put Sass, whatever. But
Okay.
just to let as well, where I live, there's a legend because we have a Indian tribe that there's a body of woods that I went to investigate and forward, and she's like, I'm scared to talk. She said, but I'll do it in front of you. I don't have to talk in front of anybody. I said, well, I'm going to upload this to you, so do I have your permission? She kind of thought about it for a while, but she told her entire account of what same body of woods, and I have that video on.
Okay, yeah.
So
Let's see that.
something going on.
Yeah, let me check it out, Clown. Let's see what's on there.
all right. I'm looking for this haunted CCC cam.
Yes.
It's the 1900 CCC camp haunted video trailer. All right,
That's
attacked
it.
by
Okay.
unforeseen force.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna do both.
And then there's going to be the
I'm gonna do the trailer first.
play the trailer. Yeah, you will see the complete attack in full video because it's about 2 hours long, just cut out of it. I was out in the woods all by myself all night and nothing was happening. Another thing, I see a lot of deer.
Oh.
I mean, herds of deer. You did not see the first deer, or I did not hear the first or any type of bird.
Yeah, that's one of the first warning signs.
It was like,
actually. That's something to always pay attention to.
See, I know.
But see, I go out on these investigations.
Deer
I look for Dogman and Sasquatch all the time. So you learn these things.
Well, see, that's like that's your expertise.
Mm-hmm.
And what it was.
Everybody's
being an avid hunter.
Okay.
Everybody's
What was
out
it,
there
Clown?
listening. Everybody that's listening and watching, I just dropped the link for Simply Southern Paranormal's video here from the attack in the live stream. Please go check out her channel. Show a little love there. Hey, and I'll fix to start the video up.
Yeah, let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, I'll fix start her up now. By God. I'm so glad you come on the channel there. Simply. All right, I'm going to have to rewind it a little bit.
I had a feeling. Actually, driving out.
Okay. Oh, wow. Look at the forest there. Wow.
Oh, you haven't seen anything.
Unimelt asked if you videotaped an Indian mound.
Hello? It is freezing already in here. It's not even night time, so. I feel
Oh, you think?
but this is where I am really, really eerie. That might be a bag. I'm going to show y'all how I set up. You guys will watch me set up. Let's settle in for the night and see what happens. Okay? Check on the inside. And yes, Dave, he's thinking that I'm crazy. I am on. Hello? Hey guys, thank you.
Seeing a lot of
Watch, really.
You guys just watch the camera. If you see anything, let
There's
me
some tree
know.
breaks in there. That's very interesting.
I'll see you guys in a minute. Hello? Hello? Oh, ew. I got out of here. I don't know what, but something hit me and I'm gone. I'm not staying the rest of the night out here.
Whoa.
First, can I say something real quick?
See it?
Can I say something real quick?
By all means.
I heard a freaking primate. I heard like a monkey heard a sound.
I did too. I heard the same thing. I saw tree breaks.
I've heard 4 of them, and I heard deep breaths.
Well, see,
like
the
something
strange
incredible power.
lot of breathing, and I did till I really started listening to it. You guys think?
Well, I did see a lot of tree breaks, and I heard some primate sounds, so I think that was actually a Sasquatch, not a Dogman. I noticed the tree breaks right away.
What's the difference?
Dogman is more of a canine type of cryptid, whereas Sasquatch is more primate. Kind of think of along the lines, looks like a gorilla at times. But both can be very aggressive when they want to be. And something I did notice is there was no fire, like you said. And I think the fact that you had your light on you, you actually had the light shining right on you, it actually let them see right where you were. And it let them know you were by yourself. And now, women going alone in the woods is a very dangerous thing. So, because these things like to mess with women.
Yeah, I'm just... Yeah, I'm pretty much clamped. Nothing scares right there. I'm scared the hell out of me.
The thing is Sasquatch especially likes to mess with women on their own.
That time of the month.
Exactly, or they're just attracted to the smell of women in general. It's because women give off different pheromones.
Did you hear the footsteps before? See, a bunch of clunking, and that's what woke me up.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And leaves and clunking. And what do you think? That sounded like really heavy. That was animal. That's not a rabbit or squirrel.
Oh no, that was a very heavy creature running about.
And like I said, we don't have anything like that to be that heavy. Our deer here, those are maybe 50 pounds.
Well, the thing is you can tell it was a bipedal thing. It was bipedal footsteps. It wasn't anything that was quadruped. You can always tell by the rhythm of the footsteps if it's a quadruped.
I'd like to point something out there if I could.
Please do, Glenn.
I believe it made that noise to intimidate her. It come in, that's a I'm here.
Agreed.
I also think if that thing would have wanted you, it would have had you. I believe it come in there and it's like a whack, get out of here.
Yeah, that's what I think it was. It was trying to scare you off.
Now.
Yeah, it was trying to scare you off.
I heard it running.
I think if it really wanted to do some damage to you, it would have.
I thought it was but why didn't it when the power died on my phone and I had to walk woods with no light? It didn't fool with me then. I don't. And I mean, I had underneath the covers.
Usually in Sasquatch encounters, though, something dies like that. Usually cameras die or vehicles stop. It's because they give off some kind of a electrical interference of some sort. That's more notable with Sasquatch than Dogman.
Yeah, you was in its house.
So
where you was
what is the real? I probably. You think it would have ate me if it was the Dogman?
I think if it was the Dogman, it would have pounced on you. It wouldn't have just hit you. It would have pounced on you and given chase. You know, because these things are more, think of a dog. When a dog's stalking you, a dog's going to pounce on you when it gets a chance. Whereas Sasquatch kind of toy with people more often. So I think it was just trying to get you out of its territory. It didn't want to hurt you. It just wanted you out of there. Because believe me,
our neighbors are really close. But they've been missing ducks and goats and dogs. And like for the last, and they'll find carcasses all over the place out there.
Okay. Do any of them ever have broken necks or broken backs or anything like that?
They're gutted.
Okay, because usually if it's Dogman, they'll tear the prey apart. There'll be really nothing left of them. Whereas Sasquatch will leave a carcass.
Pretty much shredded.
Okay, yeah, it does still sound like
the part gutted.
Okay, something that might be interesting to check out is when they find a corpse or whatever, are the livers missing? The livers or the kidneys? Because
I think
Sasquatch tend to go
everything on the inside.
Okay. Trying to see here, trying to figure this out, because usually Dogman don't really leave much. There's really not much to even identify them with after Dogman's had them. Whereas a Sasquatch just, gnaws on it a bit, throws it away, or, takes the liver and kidneys and goes. So I think it wanted you out of there. And the fact, Clowny, you pointed out you heard 3 or 4 primate calls. I do wonder if maybe there was more than one.
You was in his living room and he showed you the door, and when you left, he left you alone. They probably followed you out to woods.
Ooh, they could have.
Well,
I bet you, I bet you money on it. You went to get your four wheeler back. I bet you they were there watching you get your four wheeler. That four wheeler had your
well,
smell
the
on it.
strange thing you say about that, let me tell you the funny. I had to have a debate with my nephew because it was not where I left it. It was picked up and moved. So I don't know if it's or what happened. So I couldn't pick up a 2002 four-wheeler. I didn't move it, and I won't have any light.
Okay, yeah, that's even more indicative of a Sasquatch right there. It was moving everything because it didn't want it there.
You said a four wheeler weighs about 2,000 pounds.
To me, I
would think it would probably would weigh about 600 to 800 pounds, somewhere in that range. And that would
I don't know.
One man, a good man, I don't think can pick up move it. If 2 or 3 men, maybe 4.
To be honest, I think it's 11 or 1,200 pounds with all the on it.
Yeah,
I can't move it. Right. You know, it would take a full-grown man.
It'd take more than a full-grown man. It'd take 4.
Wet, so everything.
Something like that. It'd take more like 4 to 5 men to move. That's a lot of damn weight.
Yeah, I think those things moved it because they just didn't want it there. You really should keep an eye open.
I did hear something following me out.
Something followed you out. Okay.
Now, there was...
Back in the 60s, California, they were tearing through the forest, putting a road in. Bigfoot come in there and flipped a freaking bulldozer over.
Yep. Yeah, they're strong.
Oh my gosh.
They are strong. They're very strong. Yeah, I would definitely keep an eye out for any activity around your house, because if they followed you out, they followed you home.
And that's the kicker. I'm not very far from where I spent the night. Sometimes you can sit on my porch and hear whoop. You don't hear it very long, but you hear whoop. It's like like a goes whoop.
They followed
just
you
like
home now.
That real high pitch.
Right. It sounds like a chimpanzee, right? It's almost like the chimpanzee call and gorilla calls.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Well, more monkey, like a whoop.
Right. Yeah. If you're hearing those, if you're hearing the whooping noises, then yes, that is definitely a Sasquatch. That's what that is.
So I wonder what they would be doing.
That's like one checking in with another one, letting them know I'm here.
It could be, or it could be a family of them that are actually observing her now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is they sit there every so often saying, "Oh, I'm here," you know.
Yeah, it could be. It could very well be.
Like I'm things.
In that case, I would definitely suggest you get some bright security cameras. Get some bright security lights to put up around your property.
Right. Right. I normally hoods. So I know 20 years. Broken logs. My deer stand back the next day laying where I put my deer stand. And I shook it off to there what it wasn't, because nothing ever fooled with me. But over the years, no more deer. There's nothing. And then all this happened to me. This happened to me
Deer eat.
When is their mating season? Does anyone know?
I believe they can actually. They have mating season all year round. I don't think there's any particular season for them. I think it's basically whenever it's convenient, for the lack of a better explanation. But I think they mate all season round, all year round. When they have babies, though, that's when they're going to get more aggressive. If you have any,
you think it was a or a female to run me out of there?
It's more
or
likely
something.
a male did it. It might be something that was his turf, his mating ground. But I don't want to say it was just a male. It might have been a female as well. Because we have found that females of the cryptid species, like Dogman or Sasquatch, do not respond well to human females. There's something about the female makeup
Really?
they don't respond well to.
Yeah. If they anything like the gorillas, the silverback are called the shots on stuff. But in the gorilla family, they also have a female gorilla that runs the show too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The females have to answer to her because if they ain't acting right, she'll whip her ass in a minute and get their mind right.
I think with the
maybe like an alpha female.
I think with females, what it is they kind of feel that the estrus is a threat to their own. You know, they don't really identify that you're not the same species, but they know you're a female, so you're a challenge to them. So they're going to scare you off by no matter what means they have to do it.
Right. Not getting into any kind of that stopped happening for me about 10 years ago. I actually had to have a surgery to prevent it. Taken out, stop putting off any type of affair. Why would they attack if not that?
Just your scent. I mean, just by scent alone, they can tell you're female. You know, so they know, okay, this isn't a man, this is a woman, so they can definitely differentiate the two. You know, they do have high enough intelligence to look at you and see, oh, you're a female. Well, it's more like you're a challenge is what you are. You know, if she's an estrus and you're present, she kind of sees you as competition. So she wants you out of there.
Yeah, I had a good whack on it because I had bruising across my stomach and back and I was laid up for a few days after that. I mean,
I bet.
So if you watch the full video, you'll see where they knock it over.
Well, I'll definitely watch that.
Around.
You know, Clowny, maybe we should cover one of my Bigfoot videos.
Which video do you have on camera?
No, we discuss the different Bigfoots though, and we give you details about them. So it could be something that you could take notes on.
Right.
That way, if you see anything, you can report back to me or Clowny. I can tell you what they are and what they're doing there.
When I think of Bigfoot, I think of a big, brown, hairy, ape-like creature.
That's what a lot of people think of.
Brown hair.
Silverback.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It's white looking.
It could be a silverback. I think this silver
is that normal?
I believe so. I believe that actually indicates like an alpha or an adult male. So that that could very well be just dying. So, but see, there's more than one classification for Sasquatch though. You know, we have the Patty type, like you see in the Patterson film. And then you have the Gugg-way, which are more baboon-like, and then you have the Genosqua, which are the stone giants, and they're cannibals. So you want to stay clear of those guys. The Gugg-way are pretty dangerous too, and then you got ones. Yeah, you have ones up north that are called the Wendigo, not the Wendigo, but the Wendigo, and they are also cannibals. So you want to be really careful of these things. So if we can actually figure out what kind was around your property, that'd be really beneficial for you. Maybe what you could do, is look for footprints, because footprints can tell a lot of what kind they are.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's a demo.
Yeah, I'll do that. I mean.
Okay. Now, if you find something with
like I said,
that's dangerous. There you go. There's a Patty type right there. That's what we call a Patty type.
That's the Patterson. Look here.
Yeah,
I want you to watch my finger.
That's what I think of.
Yeah, that's the Patty type. That's what everybody calls Patterson type or Patty type. They look more like gorillas, or some people say they look like relic hominids or even human beings, but that doesn't look too human to me.
Check this out. What do you see right here? What do you see right there?
Yep, it definitely is.
It's got boobies.
Clowny, you are obsessed with her.
Big female.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Maybe it didn't hurt me because it thought I was a kid.
You know, it might not have hurt you because it just wanted you out. It didn't really want to have to hurt you. I think had you not left, things would have escalated quickly.
Can you imagine there'd have been a guy out there? That'd have been a man out there.
Yeah, you know what, Clowny? Show her
would've been bad.
Clowny, show the video on Venomous Fringe of the Gugg-way.
The Gugg-way?
Yeah. Because I think you'll find that really interesting. A Gugg-way is actually it's a type of Sasquatch, but it looks more like a giant baboon rather than a gorilla.
It's bad business.
Yeah, they're bad too.
Hair.
Hold
on this thing.
Ever
Curly,
come
like
three-toed
dog's hair.
Hey, you ever come across three-toe footprint? 3 toes. Back up, get the hell out of there.
Yeah, if you see the 3-toed prints, get out of there real quick.
Gugg-way.
So what is?
Yeah, face eater, the Gugg-way. They have the 3-toed prints.
And we have those here in the
Yes. Oh, yes. In abundance. They're all over the place. Arizona, southern states, Florida, Louisiana, even like back east has them. Connecticut, Boston. They're all over the place.
Well, you know, in Florida, we have it. Believe that.
Right.
All right. Which one you want me to show, Ryan?
The Gugg-way?
All right. Yeah, Gugg-way's smart enough. They'll hide from you.
Oh, yeah. They can set traps for you, too.
You won't even know they're there until they done got you.
Are they meat eaters?
All right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they eat people.
A cannibal, Gugg-way creature. Bigfoot, Dogman, the one you want, Rob?
Yep, that's it.
All right.
Are you a Florida trucker?
I will describe the Gugg-way in this video right here.
Every other trucker as well. I'm here at 400.
Yeah, if you fool around and did shoot a Bigfoot or a Dogman.
If you're gonna shoot one, you better hope you kill it.
They better hope you don't have a pack with it.
No, I don't have.
Exactly. Yeah, if there's more than one, yeah, don't bother shooting.
Your host, Chris Strange, joined alongside co-host.
It was funny. I had my get enough urge to shoot.
Yeah, shooting is always the last resort. Unless you know you can kill them, don't shoot. You'll just piss it off.
And if there's more of them there, you can shoot one, drop it graveyard dead, and maybe have 5 of them come in and grab you and pull you to pieces.
Exactly. Yeah, usually when there's one, there's more than one. There's about 3 or 4 of them. They like to travel in troops or packs or whatever you want to call it.
Tonight.
Oh my God, y'all got me scared now.
I'll be scared, because hell, if they wanted you, they had you.
Right?
You wouldn't come out those woods except maybe in pieces.
Yeah, I think it was just trying to scare you off, though. I think it's okay.
No. But see, when I hunt out there, I leave my apple all. Maybe they like me. Maybe that's why they didn't do nothing for fruit all year long.
It could be. They could actually see you
But
as wise food. Just be, you know what? Be really careful with the whole food thing, because I keep telling everybody, don't habituate them. If they get too used to you feeding them and you miss a day of feeding, they'll get very aggressive with it.
Well, feed 3 months.
But yeah, if you can, you know, chronicle some details for me and let me know what happens. You know, as time goes on, if you get more and more information.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Yeah, I can tell you how to handle it once you get more information.
If you take it out there and show you.
Okay, yeah, I'd definitely be willing to do that for you, yeah.
As soon as this corona stuff is over with, as soon as the corona stuff's over, I want to go out there.
Yeah, once this virus is done, I will definitely go out there and help you out. And if I can't, I know people who can. So
I just
want to get a tree.
Right.
I want to get a tree stand where I can get up in a tree and get up and off the ground.
I will just use Clowny as bait.
How to climb it.
Hell no, Clowny ain't gonna be bait.
Come on, Clown, be bait. Every time it farts, we'll hear, by God.
Y'all ready? Hey, second. Glad you're awake.
All right, I'll be right back, Clown. Go ahead and play the video, and I will be right back, and I'll answer questions if she has any.
All righty, we kick the starter up now. And ones y'all that just tuned in, please share the video, hit the like. If you hadn't subbed to the channel before, please hit that bell. Knock a big old divot in that some gun. By God. Yeah, everybody laugh.
Join us this evening as we sit down and talk about the mysterious phenomenon that plagues our world. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and you're listening to Venomous Fringe. I'm your host, Chris Ray, joined alongside co-host Ryan Trombley, a keeper of the Venomous Fringe. Ryan, good evening. How are you, man?
I am doing good. How are you tonight?
I'm doing very well. And tonight, I mean, it's very interesting weather stream going on here. The scheme is odd. It's a mixture of warm and cold. And, you know, we're about ready to get into the middle of February. We're actually enter late February, excuse me. And I mean, it's wild. And there's a lot of interesting array of, in the wintertime, smaller reports of cryptids. And I think I'm only bringing it up for the sake being because of just how relevant winter season is when it comes to Bigfoots and Dogman and other type of cryptids out there, whether it's migration or just in general, just the whole gist of the sightings. It's like a recession, very dry season. It's not like it is in the spring and summer.
No, I think it's the only spring from the
Not a lot of people really dive into that also too, but at the same time, a really relevant topic. But what is relevant tonight is Gugg-way.
Yeah.
Gugg-way is perhaps maybe one of my favorite unknown cryptids too. It's weird because I don't really know too much about the Gugg-way, and it's such to say as you know a guy that researches and does the show. But when I spoke about I don't really know too much about it, folks. It's like I know a bit about it, I know what it is, I know what type of creature it could be, and its backstory, but I don't know all too much to where I research it off the top of my head and have a definition of what it could be. So for Ryan, you know, you have dived into Gugg-way for quite some time, and we've wanted to talk about Gugg-way for quite some time. And tonight, I feel that the deliverance of what this creature is, it will be beneficial in a sense that would be able to give out the vibes of what we're looking for in terms of Gugg-way. And you have an analysis of Gugg-way, which we'll talk about a little bit. But what is one thing right now, before we go on and get started with some plugins, can we go about with Gugg-way that you can throw for us?
Well, when people think of Gugg-way, they actually think of the more baboon-like of the Sasquatch species. But what's very interesting is originally they were thought of to be as ogres with bare heads in Native American lore. So it's really cool to dig into deeper.
Yeah, that's something too, and I feel that's the other reason why we're talking about it, because of the origin, or so to speak, of the Gugg-way and ancestry-wise. A very vivid picture, and even with Gugg-way too, man, you know, you're dealing with something here that I feel is I think for many who dive into it, it's a totally different type of creature, one of which that isn't your typical Bigfoot, isn't your typical Dogman. I know there's often been a strong comparison between the two and how that could be of a hybrid, but I think Gugg-way, man, is a very odd creature, and I'm looking forward to talking about it tonight, especially with you.
Oh, definitely. It's going to be a fascinating topic.
But before we get started, folks, first and foremost, I mean, it's been quite a while since we've done the show, and it'd be great to sit back and talk with you amazing people discussing the greatness of the Venomous Fringe. And good evening, all fellow Fringeaholics. It's great to be sitting in a room talking with all of you, and I hope you all are doing well. I want to thank you all for being patient in the last month as we've not rolled out any content at all, of course in reference because of my personal life, and if you haven't followed me on social media, you will know of it, as well as also, too, some transitionings into the Venomous Fringe as well. So for tonight, me and Ryan, we are working on a project in efforts to help engage with fellow Fringeaholics into an educational experience and for you guys to get an idea on the type of cryptid we're dealing with here. So I hope you guys enjoy this next episode. If you guys would like to get in contact with me or Ryan, you can reach me at the email of thevenomousfringe@gmail.com. You can also reach me on social media, folks. If you guys would like to reach me on Facebook, Twitter, you guys can follow these links down below. They'll be in the description. As well as if you would like to follow Ryan, feel free to check out his Twitter as well as also other social media content. All links below. And if you guys enjoy this type of show, enjoy the content, and if you guys would like to get a PayPal link as well. Let's get into the Gugg-way. So the Gugg-way, the mysterious creature, and I don't think there's a real definite term as classified as Gugg-way, because I feel it's a totally different creature than Bigfoot, and I feel that for those who are not familiarized with Gugg-way, there's a bit of a stretch, there's a bit of confusion, and I think also more importantly, there's a bit of a thing where if the Gugg-way is this, then what can it do that a Bigfoot cannot do? And if it's more dominant than a Bigfoot, then why is it so dominant in that sense that it makes Bigfoot not as a strong apex? But Ryan, you've done some research for the longest period of time on Gugg-way. What is one of the biggest origins? Where does the Gugg-way begin? The term, origin, and beginning points of it being the cryptid we know it as Gugg-way today.
Well, they were first mentioned in the nickname. They were actually referred to as the Gugg-way. And they actually had different names like Gugg-wedge, Gugg-ways. But as I said, they were referred to as ogres with bear-like heads. Now, in total tales, we think we're told to be around 20 to 30 feet tall, enough to actually carry off people in a sack. And these things differentiate from your different Bigfoot because instead of side toes, they usually toe tracks. Unlike your Dogman, who uses the paw prints, these actually leave human-like prints with 3 toes. And they were mentioned by tribes. They were incredibly famous for their aggression and their ruthlessness. And it's something you would not want to run into either by yourself or with a party, because they're just dominant, so aggressive, they'll find a way to get you. The name is Little Giant.
And just to be clear, would Little Giant be in the same vicinity of that of the mountain giants?
It could be. According to the legends, they vary from 150 feet tall to 130 feet tall. So there are a lot of firearms there.
You mentioned about how these creatures, when they first originated from the tribes, a lot of these, and this is a common pattern in a lot of cryptozoology, as we look at our Native American folklore and where these creatures originate from. But the little giants seem to have been a more aggressive creature in comparison to your average Bigfoot. Now, let's say little giant, I like that term. Even though Gugg-way is a good term, not to draw a sidetrack moment to the content, but I mean, little giant and where it comes from. You have something into folklore that truly does manifest itself into what people have seen. But Ryan, Gugg-way is a more, in that description, does it have the ability to be a much more dominant creature than your average Bigfoot?
I could think so, but it wouldn't come from it. There wouldn't be that. And fascinating enough is both actually share comparisons that likenesses are very much alike. Gugg-way were actually described as hairy-like gorillas. And there's this history that people want to look it up. Silas Rand called The Legend of Big Mac. So you can look at it, you can read about it, and it actually features a story of little boys escaping from the Gugg-way. And it does detail how these things saw the little boys, and you guys definitely prove something.
It's very interesting, too, how Gugg-ways appear to be. We've heard. Let me change it up a bit. You have a creature that seems to have a much more aggressive stronghold in comparison to a Bigfoot, but you have a similarity of then Bigfoot's reportedly. You've heard cases of Bigfoot's kidnapping people. I think there've been stories that have been put out there of reports of Bigfoot's, but at the same time, I mean, Gugg-way. A Gugg-way can capture people, and it reminds me of the stone giant, the Genuswas. Not to get off topic, but you look at the Genuswas or the stone giants and how they were very notorious in raiding the villages and killing all of the villagers. And then, of course, with Gugg-ways, the little giants, they seem to be the same in parallel to kidnapping people. What they do with those people, would you think that it would be no different than Bigfoot capturing somebody? I mean, we've heard of the forest wives. What would they do in a sense? Would they kidnap people to save them for food, trap them, or perhaps breed with them? Would a Gugg-way do something like that?
I would say it's more for food purposes rather than trying to breed or anything like that. Guys are known definitely to be the aggressive ones, and it's interesting that this one, because Genoa is by these Algonquins very much so, and this is Micmac. So you got two different places in the world that has a similar legend. I think that the Genoa Gugg-way might be the same.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, and that's kind of where I was always thinking about. Like the Genoswa, and at least the Gugg-way, appear to be two creatures with very similar attributes in terms of aggression and in terms of behavior. I mean, same thing. But really, I mean, when you look at the Genoswa seems to have a much more aggressive factor to it in its behaviors, and a lot of the sightings that have been covered on them seem to have a bit of a strong focus on how they go about, especially if you can raid a village and eat people. What makes it no different from a Genuswa, being intelligent enough to go ahead and raid a small town necessarily doesn't need to do anything too strong, but a town enough that every single ounce of the town is hidden. What if from sight and in general, a Gugg-way can do the same thing? I mean, I feel that these creatures have such a huge intelligence balance to them that they do have a more dominant fashion. But at the same time, their intelligence, it's like book smarts over street smarts. And the Gugg-way seems to have the same parallels, but I don't necessarily know too much about what I'm talking about here. Maybe I'm just going off the beach, but it's tough when you're diving into something that's truly something hard to notice of, especially if you're not familiarized too much with it. And Gugg-way seems to be that, because Gugg-way I feel has been very misled, and I feel it's misled because there seems to be a lot of drawing in comparisons to Bigfoot's Dogman with this creature. And Ryan, not just in social media, also just YouTube comments that try to discuss it and how belief goes over the facts of science.
Yes, very much so. A lot of people believe that the Gugg-way is just a misinterpretation by Sasquatch, whereas some people also consider the Dogman is just simply a Gugg-way. But what's that in part? Dogman actually has some crop ears, whereas Gugg-way are not set to have those. So there are some physical features that differ greatly between the two, and I think they can be confused. In fact, the prime example of the Gugg-way, the Beast of Seven Shoots.
And that's a good example. I like how you brought that up. The Beast of Seven Shoots. That's such an infamous photograph, and I know we've talked about it briefly on the show before, but a lot of people who have commented their opinions on that photograph. They believe he was Gugg-way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because of the way the body shaped, you know, because of the way it looks, because of the way I feel like, and this is just, you know, obviously right now people are seeing this, you're seeing the image of the Beast of Seven Shoots as we speak, and you can see there seems to be a very something in the photograph itself where it has a Gugg-way, or at least a primate-like stance to it, very baboon-like. You know how people have talked about baboon? That's been very notorious in that photograph. You also see the muscular build, the structure. It does look ape-like. And I mean, one of the most disturbing features of this, and I think it just talks about complexion in the face, is the face. You don't really get to see the face. You only just see the enhanced pixelated view of the face as well as with the body. But the face, there's something about the face that just looks very strange. It's weird.
The problem is snout. That snout is just so identifiable right there. You can easily make it out. You know, it looks very much Sasquatch-like until you look at the face.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. That's why a lot of people, when they talked about it, or at least when some really went into it, Gugg-way, the way it's shaped, it does look pretty. It's pretty cross. You know, I'm not gonna lie. It's a very big crossed cryptid, very parallel, very notorious, very noticeable. I feel in that image, the Beast of Seven Shoots, there's a Gugg-way. There's a Gugg-way there. But at the same time, I know that for those who would question, how can you be so sure? And I just go by the analysis, how we look into the broad shoulders, we look into the facial structure, what you had made mention too of. It's just a very strange, it doesn't feel Bigfoot. I don't see Bigfoot doing something like that. More importantly, you know what's really odd about that photograph is that photograph.
Yes, they said it could be a thought. Somebody saw the right around photograph was facing. And it was going to be so.
There was a few theories. People thought that it was a pig. Some people thought it was a poodle dog. I recall hearing that theory or that story of apparently there was a tour attraction not too far from that area of the photograph being taken, and you have in the photograph that animal, and some people believe that it was a dog because someone who had a dog brought on the tour. The creature emerged from the wood line, and the dog apparently had followed, and that's apparently the story of the dog. And it would make perfect sense. The dog in that photograph was Gugg-way's lunch. And yeah, I mean, nothing more to it, but the photograph I think is a Gugg-way. I feel that there's something in that doesn't feel Bigfoot. And I feel that if it was Bigfoot, I would think that we'd be looking at more Bigfoot-like features. But I feel that there's something about that photograph that just doesn't feel Bigfoot to me. And it has a lot to do with the direction than the pixelated piece. And I know that kind of comes before opinion, choice of judgment, but you got to see it from, you got to look at the photograph yourself. And just get a good observation. It just has a weird structure to it that's rather different than your typical quote-unquote Bigfoot.
It's actually quite fun.
And that's another thing too, man. You know, the story behind the Seven Shoots photo is that the photographer didn't even realize that there was something in his photo. He reviewed the photo and when he did, he was so startled that he didn't even understand what the hell it was. even big Photoshop experts even looked at that photograph and they came back saying that there's nothing in this photo that is a red flag of a composite or deception or any weird marks that would indicate some sort of noisy negative bleeds. So that would result in it being a fabricated photo. This was a very genuine photo. The photograph came back. Now, of course, you can look at it too from the analysis of, well, what if this creature was a man in a suit? And the suit, because it was taken in a foreign country, maybe there's more. It could be a homemade suit. It could be a suit that certain companies in a specific country or whatever. I feel that there isn't enough ground to say because if you look through the photos, there's the whole photo album. There's video too of the photographer filming in the exact same spot that the creature was seen in the photo, and his girlfriend took a comparison shot, and you could see in a sense that they are not too far off the ground, but really, I mean, it's hard to make out because it's a very steep photograph. The photograph itself is just hard to really make out something too narrow that would make it a good complex. But you can get a good idea on what's in that photograph.
Very much so. I don't try to say that it was a tree stuff, but a tree can always be there. It's not a huge position. You know, so the whole theory just doesn't hold any play.
I still think that, though, because the photo was taken, I think, in 2005.
Yeah, that's correct.
So almost basically 15 years, and that photograph has been worn with. I remember when it was only 5 years old, I looked it up. And I guess I'm only making this, and I'm bringing this up now because it's such an interesting photo. I feel like it was at one point declared Dogman because of the ears, and then it was declared Bigfoot because of its look. Someone said Bear Man, and then I feel now in a mature analogy, we're dealing with a Gugg-way.
I would agree with you on that.
It's a very interesting photograph, to say the least. But not to dive too much off the rails with Gugg-ways, he said shoots, going back into the Gugg-way creature itself. Brian, this is when we really get the first sightings of Gugg-ways in modern America.
You know, that actually ended up having a boom. So a lot of people think Sasquatch doing something new. And rather than just the 5-toed prints, they were reporting 3-toed prints, highly aggressive coming at them during the night. And that's when people realized, wait a minute, it could be something that and we can collect it. And the more that went into it, the more we realized, okay, there's variance here. There's something going on. There's something else out there besides the Sasquatch, besides the Dogman. And yeah, the Gugg-way have become a rising thing. More and more people are seeing these, especially those who love Sasquatch.
And do you feel there's misconception there are Gugg-way sightings and Bigfoot sightings and how the two are so similar?
Oh, absolutely. Especially Dogman as well. You know, when people see Gugg-way, they automatically think Dogman because of the smell. And they don't really stop to look at the type of legs that they have. They don't have the canine-like legs. They have the human-like legs.
When the sightings first came out in the 80s, do you believe that there was a huge bark of I think the people thinking that they were seeing Bigfoot, but really were seeing a much more aggressive creature, much more stronger and aggressive than Bigfoot. How do you feel for the 80s in that time period that these things were out there, how they could work? Because I feel that if these started coming about in the 80s, Gugg-way would now have a more complicated time trying to go about, because I feel that there are sightings of Gugg-way that have been misinterpreted as Bigfoot's sightings, and that if there have been these sightings, obviously people have seen Gugg-way and think it's Bigfoot. And that's where the whole thought process of, well, these things are, why do Bigfoots are aggressive, Bigfoot's dogmen are evil. But really, what if they're seeing Gugg-way? And these are more aggressive cryptids in comparison to your average Bigfoot and dogman.
That would explain a lot, because if you read back during the 80s, and even as far as back as the 50s, there was a lot of aggressive stuff like that. And I think, like you said, people were actually seeing the Gugg-way and having an encounter with the Gugg-way, but their mind automatically went to Sasquatch because of how they look. You know, the general bipedal stance and the ape-like appearance. In reality, though, I think it was these Gugg-way coming in more and more. And that's going to increase. I really do believe that.
Do you feel that the increase is a big thing even more now because of the population density, or do you feel because there's more industrial economics coming into play?
I think it's a little bit of both. You know, I mean, we don't exactly go out and hunt these, nor should we. But because we don't hunt them, like any animal hunt, they're not going to be kept in check. And as that happens, the population can increase in number, and approaching so much, encounters are going to happen more and more on a daily basis, perhaps.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, man. The fact that I feel that with the dog, like one of the things with, and I don't want to sound like I'm losing words, it's just the fact that Gugg-way, their aggression, their meters, their demeanor, it sounds like they do what they do to form a purpose in the formation that they do because of how aggressive one can choose and be, and just intensity-wise. They're very smart. They seem to have a very high rank of intelligence. What have been some cases where these creatures have used their intelligence? And what has there been any real documented situations where they feel that they've been rather notable for doing things out of the ordinary that have been a little uncomparison to your average Bigfoot?
As I mentioned before, there was that story from Silas Rand in his 1894 collection, and it does specifically tell of a story where Gugg-way stalked and kidnapped children. And this Gugg-way was actually used as such as sneaking up behind them and hiding on them as they were going on the hunting trails.
Mm.
It would make noises to attract the little boys, so they were looking in a different direction, and then it would come in and sneak in and take them. And it would actually stick them on it would impale them on a stick in order to cook them.
Yeah, that's something. That's another thing as well. Like, this is a thought process of that, right? The idea that creatures practice in a global sense, right? That they do things that aren't fully the same as a regular Bigfoot or a Dogman.
Right.
Why would a Gugg-way do something like that, Brian?
You're a true versus me, right? In this case, they just had a different, and your Paddy things. You know, Paddy didn't really have any of the hunters going after it in California, whereas these guys may have very well contend hunters, and they became aggressive with the age. And that aggression just carried on through generations.
And doesn't that go back to an old thought about how humanity is the problem of all wrongs?
Very much so.
And how we were able to put these animals in capacities where they become aggressive. It's like your average wild animal that's abused, right? Not to get into an off-subject topic, but something that we see in everyday life. An animal that's abused to the point where it's either going to be scared or it's going to be aggressive. It's going to fight back. So what
or even, you know, a starving animal will become very aggressive in order to get food. And once it finds food supply, it becomes 10 times more aggressive to protect itself.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the other thing. The idea I think when it comes to Gugg-way, when it comes to the thoughts, how they are of a practice of indication, you know, they have this factor of intelligence because of the form of their past aggressions, from the form of their necessary roughness. That's what kind of creates that barrier, man. That they are a force that you don't want to wreck with. They're very aggressive, passively and aggressively.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, if you take the Sasquatch and you add the aggression of the put them together, you really don't have to want to wrestle that.
You put up a Gugg-way against the Bigfoot, who would be the winner? This is not for the comedic value, it's for a curiosity factor.
Oh, well, I would have to give the aggression scale to the Gugg-way for sure. And since it does have the intelligence, I would have to say the Gugg-way's going to come out on top. Now, of course, you can add in if you want to. That can be pretty hard to do. But I think one-on-one, Gugg-way's going to take it.
The Gugg-way will be, I think, it works. It's a, it does work a whole lot. You know?
Look at it this way: you can be as smart as the most brilliant of minds, but really, is that going to do a lot of good when something has teeth and nails and it has the equal strength that you do? Eventually, those weapons are going to come into play.
And that's something too that people underestimate. I mean, I think a Bigfoot can pick up a hatchet. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to give an example. I mean, it could pick up weapons. But if a Gugg-way can pick up a weapon too, but also have the formation expression. Now, when I was talking earlier, right, you know, I mentioned that I feel, and this is something I want to talk about now. Gugg-ways, I like to compare them to chimpanzees.
Very good analogy.
Because when we look at chimpanzees, and I'm not talking about, I don't want to dive too much into it because it's not that it's a topic that's off topic, it's just a principle that it's a very good comparison. Chimpanzees are known to be aggressive in the wild. They don't, you know, a chimp can be necessarily be chased by hunters and grow up to be aggressive, but when we look at mankind of chimps and how they are as a primate, you know, it's kind of how it was. These everyday circus to these chimps are basically their whole life is an exercise. They work out daily. They're strong. They rip heads, they rip arms off, they rip faces off. Now, if you want to go about it and say that, you know, a Gugg-way can do the same thing, I think a Gugg-way can do anything. I think a Gugg-way, if it is provoked, will rip the face off of somebody, will kill someone, will mangle someone, will murder someone if it wanted to.
It's interesting that you say that because Gugg-way are known as the face eaters.
Now, see, Ryan, I'm not going to get controversial because I've heard this before from other people, but what is Gugg-way? Where does the face eater come from?
I think the Gugg-way are the face eaters, but I think the process is going to have to be first. It's just a simple predatory. You know, if you look at some of the animals out there, such as mudpie, move over the face. You know, it's a quick way to kill your prey, more effort.
And that's another thing too. The criminal habits of what this is, whether it's rip the face off, to go about it, information that truly does spark the thought process of its definition. See, that's why I think Gugg-way is such a very fascinating term.
It is very. But if you look at the whole process of, you know, it biting somebody's face, it's really a very versatile killing method. Oh, you know, you can suffocate your prey that way. Snakes do that. You know, what's the first place that a snake goes when it's strangling its prey? It covers the face.
Let's not forget either that a snake will grow in size when it's about to eat something.
Right.
So it can devour it whole.
Exactly.
Here's an interesting story for you. You hear how you know, you want to talk about acting. you want to talk about how a predator will size up in comparison. Look at tigers, bro. I'm sure you're familiar with the video of tigers. There's a video in India of a guy that was on an elephant, edible animals, and the tiger in damn grass, sizing up, while getting ready to charge after this dude, jumps up onto the dude and attacks him, and obviously they don't show the full video. Like you can see it, don't see the full, don't see what happened, but I mean it's an example. A Gugg-way can do the same thing. It's something.
It really is a very interesting tactic. It does show how the intelligence is on these things. Because it wants to make a quick struggle with the spread. That's the quickest way to do it. You can bring a perfect position. You have the head. You can move anybody's body in whatever direction you want to.
Let's not forget, too, that Dogman and Bigfoots, they normally, Dogman can easily, I don't think they necessarily don't go for the head too much, besides probably the claw.
Right.
And this is just going by what we see from anime films, whereas Bigfoots often snap the necks.
Right.
So Gugg-way is behind that form of aggression, which reminds me of a scene from a movie called Abominable, where the Yeti creature rips the face off the guy who throws a hatchet in his back.
Oh yeah, I remember that scene.
It reminds me so much of face using. It's very
I always remember that movie Primal Rage.
Ah yes, Primal Rage. Very good movie.
Terrifying stuff. That does remind me.
That's the movie where it was basically like Predator.
Right, yeah. Where it kidnaps the guy's wife or fiance and she's out there to get her back.
Very interesting story. I mean, it's Prince Charming after the Beast.
No word I would use.
Well, it's just a form of language, I guess.
Right.
But no, man, Primal Rage, good movie. If anybody out there wants to watch a nice movie and wants a nice 6-pack of beer in the same time zone, I would upgrade it to a 12-pack or a 24-pack by hour, first hour, because it gets better as time goes on. But Primal Rage is a very good movie. I think it's a little underrated, though. I think.
Oh, definitely. It was a great movie.
That
it's right up with Exists. It's right up there.
Exists is a good movie. That ending of Primal Rage.
Oh yes, when the number of Sasquatch come out from hiding, and that one guy is all in his own face.
Oh, really?
Imagine me.
But that's a beautiful example of how these creatures can operate. I mean, let's think of it like this. How many times have we looked at Bigfoot cases, right, where they have sat there and we've looked at Bigfoot's reports of people who have seen Bigfoot and just one Bigfoot, but then we hear Dogman reports, and they have a Dogman report where there's a Dogman sighting there, and then there was 2 other ones following behind, or there's a few from each circle.
Right.
My point is that what if a Gugg-way operates in a pack, like a predator pack, and they do what they do, the way they do?
I have to think that the Gugg-way are more the solitary hunters just because of how aggressive they are. I think they have such high aggression that they don't even get along with other Gugg-way. It's probably more of a characteristic.
I agree.
When they know a certain number of prey in an area, they're going to make sure they're the only predator to catch that prey.
And I agree with that too, because I mean, like, that's just very, like, to me, it's something that with a brilliance of understanding, these creatures But yeah, the Gugg-way, very aggressive creature, one of which I feel really died to the parallel viewing difference. And its origin, you got the origin in Native American lore. I mean, it doesn't get any more suspenseful than diving into that type of topic, or at least a fair portion of the topic. Ryan, what else is it when it comes to Gugg-way, though? What do you feel as what one should also know? Let's talk about the basics of Gugg-way. What are we looking at?
I feel these things are very, very territorial. They're going to defend their home turf no matter what. It doesn't matter how many of you there are. If there's even one there, you're not going to have a good time on it. You know, whereas Sasquatch tends to be more, I don't want to say docile, but I'll say shy, maybe elusive. These guys kind of like to make their presence known. If you go into their turf, you're going to know about it. They're going to raise holy hell and make your turf the moment you enter there. You know, they're not like your average Sasquatch where they don't need the signs of conditioning or even the tree structures. They're not really known for that. These guys are very stealthy, more stealthy than your average Sasquatch. You know, they're elusive, they're sticking to the shadows, they're cunning, they're apex predator, they're the top of the top. You know, so these are the things that you do not run with. You know, even Sasquatch researchers will tell you if you have stealthy on your property or any of your property, to avoid them at all costs. So that should tell you something right there. And I've even heard stories of Gugg-way taking the Dogman. You know, and they just say dissect the Dogman, no problem. That shows how strong they are and how aggressive they are. You know, if they can do that to the Dogman or to their Sasquatch, think about what they can do to you.
So, territorial Gugg-way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, it's funny, man, because you have a classification here where they, and it's just going by reports, they operate very strongly.
Mm-hmm.
So, it makes perfect sense to have a creature so aggressively do the things that they territorially, and also at the same time, ones that are roaming in suburban areas. I mean, there was a report, I believe, that occurred in Arkansas involving someone that had a Squatch on his property, and the Squatch was so damn aggressive that it was ready to attack the damn property. In which many cases we've heard this before, but in the format it was presented, it really laid an eye on me, man, because I've often heard reports there and there of how when cryptids are on territories or at least properties, that it's just firm and strong aggressive.
Well, yeah, I mean, anything sets up a home, no matter where it is, even if it's your property first, in your mind, but in their mind, it is theirs first. It belongs to them. You're just visiting. And they're going to do anything to get rid of you. You can run into that with bears, mountain lions. You know, anybody who's ever been in the woods knows that when you cross into a bear territory, it's problematic. You know, so if you're in a place where this thing's been situating for years, or maybe, you know, its ancestors have been there, then, yeah, you're seeing it. So it's only natural to do whatever it can to break the wall. Now, I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying here. You know, they present that like, oh, okay, this is my property, this is my turf, you need to get out of here. You know, until a follow-up, they initiate their tactics.
I agree. That's a very terrifying thought, too, if you think about it.
Well, most definitely.
See, and that's also, too, when you really look into the concept of the Gugg-way, and this is another thing that when I was really looking at some research on was that Gugg-way really do have a boundary between their low elevation. There's this case, I think, for anybody who intrudes. I mean, you talked about a Bigfoot, or at least a Dogman, by a Gugg-way. You know,
yeah, that the Dogman wandered into the Gugg-way's territory and it did not continue its presence. So it pounced, it attacked it, and it just dissected that vortex. You know, it went.
I'll tell you that. I mean, it's an idea that if a Gugg-way can do that with Dogman, that everybody seems to fear, then what would be the case in cause of the Gugg-way? I would be scared. I would be terrified of that. I want to be clear on something, and Ryan, I also want to be clear with you as well, because you had a Dogman encounter. I don't want to sound insulted when I said everybody fears, because I would fear it too. But to see a Gugg-way do that to a creature that is very fearsome to everybody, my fear now increases to millions and 10 times more, because this thing, if I can do it to a Dogman, what can it do to me?
Right, exactly. And as a researcher, I'm actually excited to see Dogman again, but I never come across that ever. Doesn't matter if I'm armed or not. I never one of these things.
I feel that that's weird, man. It's logical. I feel that, if that were the case, a Gugg-way can do that. But then again, a Gugg-way can be very notorious. It can rip a dog in half, it can rip trees in half, it can rip their own in half. So they definitely do have a stronghold communication-wise with their own pack, I would assume.
I would assume so. I would definitely assume so. But I think it's my theory that they're solitary. If you want to picture another animal, you can actually kind of compare them to the great white shark behavior, where they tend to stick themselves while they're defending their prey or their turf. They're extremely vigilant. They'll do what they have to do.
That's a good comparison, good interpretation to a great white shark and a Gugg-way. The Gugg-ways too, I know that there's buzz about Gugg-way being these fearsome loner type animals when I was doing my research. And one of the things that stands out to me is its brilliance. How they could be not really well discussed in terms of being Bigfoot and Dogman, but they're right? And if one were to really it evolves into that territory of one, I couldn't imagine how the damage would be.
I'm not sure I want to. Like I mentioned earlier, they don't leave the tree bends or tree breaks, and they're so stealthy about their presence. It's almost like they're setting them up. As a researcher, if you wander to their turf, you're not going to really know it until it wants you to know it's there. And at that moment, it's too late for you. What can you do?
And that's the what if factor.
Probably not. Definitely not.
Like I said, in comparison to chimps. The chimps, and you see how aggressive they are, and then you look at how they form. They're just
if they do operate in packs, I would say it's very much similar to, like you said, the chimp troops. If you look at them in the wild, they formulate ethics to attack other troops and just decimate every single member of the opposing troop.
That's a scary factor to it, because the Gugg-way can just format and operate in such the same way that it makes me wonder, like, how brilliant they are as creatures. And I wish they do have a good brilliance to them. I think that they've definitely proven, or at least I think so, of how wild they can take.
Well, they certainly have a high IQ. I mean, to actually cover their existence, to cover their presence, just remain silent until somebody wanders into that place, that shows a high level. That definitely shows the conscience of what they're doing.
And I think that they are on top of basic predators and such things in their own respected states as what they are. I consider them no different than chimpanzees.
Good assessment.
But at the same
and with baboons a little bit.
Yeah, the baboon thing too. Baboons are very freaky, but at the same time, it makes perfect sense. They're very strong. Ryan, what else should we really touch? I mean, Gugg-way as a whole, from its origin to its behavior to its sightings to its wild son. I mean, what else do we need to know about these mysterious Gugg-ways?
Well, like I said earlier, I think a lot of Dogman are actually just identifying Gugg-way. And all that fear surrounding Dogman, I think it's kind of misplaced. In some cases, I think that witnesses have seen Gugg-way instead of Dogman. And so it is very common to actually fear the Gugg-way. If you actually get some Dogman encounters where, they're personally going up to the doors or up to the houses and, attacking the home, tapping on windows, slapping walls, then that's the Gugg-way operating. And that, again, that shows their intelligence right there. They're trying to lure you out. So you can't underestimate it, not by any means.
It's a very good analogy and a good thought. Because at the end of the day, what are we dealing with? We're dealing with something here that is formally aggressive, one of which does have one methamphetamine. I feel that in conclusion, in the final thoughts, what a creature, Ryan.
It's a fascinating creature, isn't it?
I feel that we can go based on this down the road, but I feel we can also go ahead and talk a little bit about more with other things too with it. Gugg-way is,
Oh, yeah.
I find Gugg-way to be a very interesting cryptid. I will say this.
It's very, very fascinating. It's one that I actually near and dear. I'm just very interested in the topic itself. So I'll bring some more down the road.
I think so too. But I think tonight we move up on the basics of what it is and the understandings of what it is. But I want to go ahead, I want to conclude with a few things. First and foremost, folks, I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight to this episode of the Venomous Fringe. Of course, our cryptid discussion on the Gugg-way, what it is. And folks, if you guys have any questions about the Gugg-way and we'd like to ask in a future episode, write them down below in the comments section, or if you would like to ask me or Ryan a question, feel free, write them out now. And by the way, folks, if you guys like to get in contact with me, which is at thevenomouspringe@gmail.com, please feel free to follow me and Ryan on social media. We'll leave links down below. And if you guys are interested and would like to go ahead and take a look at a few links, check them out down below. My name is Chris Green, and I'm joined alongside by my co-host, Ryan Tremblay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in tonight. You all have a fantastic evening, and be safe wherever you're at. Good night, everybody.
There we go. Now we can talk again.
Very nice. Did that answer some questions for you?
Oh,
Yep.
you still there, Sip?
Oh, yeah, she's there.
She might have been sidetracked shaking her pants leg.
Or taking notes.
No, y'all got me wanting to get on that slide out there and put up my trail cameras.
You should. You really should. Maybe you'll get some good footage to show everybody.
It's now that's about the same time that the attack happens.
I would go set them up during the day. Don't go back out during night, though.
Go in the daytime.
Yeah, nighttime is the right time for them. It's the wrong time for you.
Hello, Secretary.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's happening there, brother? Hey.
All right, so what I watched and everything from the beginning, like when you first entered into the woods, there was a rock-like mound beside the cypress trees. But when you turned back around to look after you said hello, it was gone. So right there, like you were already being watched, and they moved.
It didn't feel
like
I didn't feel like to me up until it got dark.
yeah,
An eerie feeling.
right.
But
Yeah,
during the day, like I said, I had a sidearm on all day and my 4-wheeler. So I was walking in there and nothing ever bothered me. But then it was a different story. I put it in my sleeping bag, and then that's when.
That's why you weren't bothered during the days, because you had your sidearm right where you could get it.
yeah.
You think
Once you tucked it away.
Do you think they're that smart?
Oh yeah, they definitely are that smart.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
not dumb at
Somebody's
all.
got their YouTube going. If you pause YouTube, just you stay with the StreamYard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody's got.
Oh, let me.
Yeah, you pause YouTube, stay with the StreamYard, bro. Everything's okie and dokie. I got
mine paused.
All right, mine's closed. Can you hear it?
No, it's gone now.
Yep, it's good now. But yeah, that's why they weren't bothering you, because they could actually see your sidearm, and they knew you could get it quickly during the day. When you tucked it away, though, it was more out of your reach, so they knew that was an optimal time to bug you.
Yeah.
The side that I got hit on, exactly where my sidearm was, under the.
Yeah, see, they knew that. They memorized where you were keeping it, so they kind of tapped you on that side to say, yeah, you can't do anything about it, so get out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were
during. You heard all the beginning, right? The running,
right?
You think it was more than one being surrounded?
I do. I think there was at least 2 or 3. Because you could hear the primate calls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The only way you'd know for sure is if you'd have shot that gun. And you shot that gun, the gates of hell would have opened up on you.
Oh yeah, especially if it was 2 parents with a juvenile. Oh boy.
Really?
Hey,
yeah. Oh yeah.
There's an all. Hey, there's a pig. Yep, that's all over.
It's like saying, I mean, you protecting your child. If somebody shoots a gun up in the air, you're going to protect your child just as much.
Exactly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, I hunt those same woods, and there was years ago that I had actually lost deer, and later to find it complete. The only thing that strap, the legs, and it was really weird because we don't have anything that do anything like that much damage.
That's not uncommon. Actually, I interviewed a hunter who Bigfoot actually stole a deer right out of his truck. So that's not uncommon.
They stole it out of his truck?
Yeah, it's just he went to go do something while he had the deer in the back of his truck, and this thing just walked up, grabbed the deer carcass, threw it over its shoulder, and he actually saw it in time where it was just walking away casually with this dead deer over its shoulder.
Hey, Sip, they've had reports to seeing Bigfoot at night, and they made a ring around the creek. They'd herded the deer into the center area and have the deer run in and grab them, pop a neck. Bam. Food.
Oh
hey,
my God.
Hey, how you doing, Gypsy?
That's
Let's do that damn bag. My speaker cut off the YouTube.
But there are some measures you can take, though, to make sure they don't mess with your property.
What is that?
Bright security lights. You're going to have to get some very, very bright security lights and kind of rotate where you keep them. That way they don't grow accustomed to where they are.
I have floodlights on my property.
Okay. I would get more than one.
I mean,
right. I would get more than one, though, and put it closer to where the woods are, like where the wood line is, where it starts.
Come on up, Gypsy.
you know, have that there. And then some people suggest like bear urine or something like that, but I wouldn't take that chance because sometimes I'll take the bear urine as a challenge. So forego any of that.
Right, basically.
Now, if you have any pets, I don't know if you actually have pets, do you?
I have a 165-pound Italian car. He sits outside most of the.
All right. Well, with their feed, don't ever keep the feed up where any animals can reach it, because that's kind of like it's bait to those kind of things. They'll come out just to get the feed, and they'll pick a few chickens off while they're there.
Lost all of our chickens and 2 of our horses.
Okay. All right, and you might want to consider getting some higher fences. Make it kind of a struggle for them, so they actually have to work. I know it's a pain in the butt.
Our property is not because it's 3 acres and it's not developed. It's uncleared and driveway is. So the wild comes in the front yard hunting rabbits out there every night.
Ooh, okay. You might want to try putting up security cameras as well, because they do tend to avoid cameras. What's up, Clown?
What about sit there and put some damn punji sticks up?
You could try that. I'm not sure how much success it would have.
What is that?
Small hole about the size of a foot for a Bigfoot, but it's about 6 to 8 inches deep, and then have spikes sitting down in it. They step in it, it'll poke their damn foot. They'll leave out your hopper, and they might get the idea to steer clear of you.
You could try that. I'm not sure how much luck you'd have.
Kind of like we do for bear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing is, though, anything that causes them pain, though, they're going to take out on you because they're going to know that you set it up.
And see, like I did, they might have gave me a free pass because here I do bait animals, wild hog and deer.
Right. So you want to be really careful how you proceed with it. You know, and what I do sometimes too is dog whistles actually work really well. When you go out, if you want them to stay away from you, use a dog whistle. The high pitch actually hurts their ears.
They do sell perimeter device that you find online. Basically, it's a trip line, and it sets off with like an explosion. It's like a quarter of a stick of dynamite. Hey, some of them even fire 12-gauge shotgun shells.
Mm-hmm.
They trip that, and they go off.
Yeah,
and they
I don't.
So yeah, I don't think. Okay, because you said where you're at with a Native American land, right?
What did BCC camp, the soldiers unity camp where people went to work years ago? It was like between 1920, it was all over the world. Most of them are workers. Right. Well, the one that is by my house, it was a segregated camp, and with it, they just shut it down and pulled down and just left it all in ruins. People lost their lives there, and the Indians waited from the rest of the road. Eventually, after everything, just the land. I don't know if there's a curse that is went on this, but and that's why I was there to do EVP, because people have seen full body apparitions of souls in the woods. So so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to see what I can. What did I get more than I bargained for? So I really don't know if it's tied.
See, now with the history of that, knowing how I believe that they took to that land to make it their own, and they're not going to come to your land. They just wanted you away from it because nobody else is going to be there anymore. Because for one, it's haunted. For two, like nobody nobody else is there.
Yeah.
And
That's a very good point.
3, they just wanted you out of there. That's why like they didn't do anything. They just wanted to see what you were up to. They were testing.
Well, see, I'm not the only one that had experience. This land is, there is a power that runs right down the, and a little girl that I interviewed, she called it a skin wall. This is what her and her Francis what this thing was. In a tent, people had left her to go mud riding. They were gone all night long in the tent, and whatever the tent and started. She was screaming and hollering, but nobody came to her rescue. Interview with me on talk to anybody on video on my channel. But I don't know where they come. But the thing has been
because
seen
that's not
several
what
times.
skinwalkers do.
And I didn't believe all that,
Right. Yeah, I mean,
but it is.
I mean, everybody has different experiences with Sasquatch. I mean, but they didn't seem biased towards you. They just like when they snapped the limb. Like when they snapped the limb, it was.
I had bruises.
Well, no, I know, but I'm talking about in the video before, like because you hear the limb or whatever snap.
You hear the sound.
Yeah, you hear the moving,
like four times after it hit her. There's a
right.
Well, see, that is exactly. I was dead asleep, and I heard the running. I'm like, what in the world is that? I figured coyote, hog, something. I was getting my gun. That's the whole round. Yeah. And then I felt like someone. You ever get that feeling where you put?
You can tell
it was crazy.
Steps it's bipedal though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how can you tell?
Because there's actually a rhythm. When it's quadruped, you can kind of tell the rhythm that it's four-legged as opposed to two legs.
Yeah, because you hear the thud and then one.
Yeah. Yep.
But with this,
to me, is how heavy.
Ooh.
But yeah, you had an encounter there. You most certainly did.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't want to say anything to
pretty much just get out of our area. I don't think they're gonna follow you home. I don't think they're gonna do anything to you. Pretty much, they wanted to scare you to where you never would go back.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the encounter.
See, and I think
she did tell us to hear you hoop all poop out there sometimes. They still watching the house. They followed her back.
Yeah, they did follow her home already. So
well, she doesn't live that far away from it. So I mean, they technically will claim all that territory. I mean, as long as she doesn't do anything within their vicinity, they're fine. I mean, that's Squatches. Squatches will keep watch on you.
Well,
it all depends, really, because I actually have a friend who he has them on his property too, and they turned aggressive really quick.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if you know about Woodbooger Farm, Rick from Woodbooger Farm.
No.
They were docile at first, and then suddenly they just started attacking his chickens. They tore down some sheds, started throwing rocks at his house, smacking his windows.
Well, the thing is, was he tearing down the trees and forests?
No, not at all. Yeah, he was actually being really friendly to these things. And then one night they just decided to get really aggressive with him. They raided his property, killed a whole bunch of his chickens, his turkeys. They took away one of his dogs. So
maybe
it got ugly quick.
See, like, okay, my
You heard about the
grandpa
woman?
and grandmother were full-blooded Cherokee,
Yeah, you heard about the woman and her daughter carrying out in Alaska, huh?
and um,
Woman and her daughter
they
got drove out. It was
Yep.
beating the hell out of her cabin.
Yep.
they owned like close to 75 acres in McDonald, Georgia,
Right.
and the reason why they moved away from the reservation and everything is because of the whole incident in the 50s by trying to get, Native American children into, white schools and stuff like that and off the reservation.
Right.
But that's a whole entire different thing. But my grandfather was a medicine man, and I want to say spirit man. He
So he was a
he knew
shaman.
all. Yeah, he was a high respected man in the in the tribe, and
Right.
my grandmother was a spirit animal trainer, and all the stories that I've heard came from my grandfather and my grandmother about all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how the Native Americans, it's funny, the Cherokee, they used to trade with Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they called them the tree men,
Right.
and like they taught the Cherokee how to use metal to make axes and knives and everything. And there's all I mean, and the Sasquatch was never really there was a story the first time that the Cherokee met them was one of the young males captured a Cherokee princess.
Right.
Okay. And they they sent search parties, the best hunters and everything to go find her. And they came to a huge cave underneath a waterfall, and there was about 50 of these Sasquatch in there, wondering what she was. They were looking at her feet, like her clothes, stuff like that, like just wondering what she was.
Mm-hmm.
And well, the Cherokee, being the way that they shot an arrow and pierced into one of their chests. And that started a war for probably about 5 years with them, with the Cherokee. But after the war and everything, they the Cherokees say that the Sasquatch are connected to the veils and ley lines. That's how they can disappear as soon as you see them.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the ability to cross over and become invisible.
Right.
That's why, like, when you see them, like, they can blend in with nature because they have what's called natural camouflage. It's this is all hearsay from my grandfather, and he's got all these books and everything that's all about these races and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, and that's why I was saying like the matron of the. I think because Southern, you said it was a like mangy gray haired arm, right, with long nails that slapped you.
No, it was here, but the hand
Yeah.
it looked like scabby looking paws. That's why I don't know about the Sasquatch Dogman thing, because there's had claws, like a.
Mm-hmm.
So like
They were long. I'm saying about an inch long.
That's long. That's very long. Not something you
yeah,
want to mingle with. It really the type of
So that's what
Sasquatch.
just got me so puzzled.
Right. Well, the type of Sasquatch, it depends on what region. I mean, some Cherokee tales do tell of the gentle versions, but there's also the
Right.
Kudule. The Kudule were the savages.
yeah, they were the ones. Yeah,
You said it.
they called them soul takers.
What's that, Clowny?
You said it.
Yeah, it's the Cherokee word for giant savage.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Where
you also have
I'm at, the area is all swamp.
Yeah, that sounds more like it'd be a Gugg-way turf than actual just typical Sasquatch. They like to hang out in swamps a lot.
That could be skunk, the skunk ape territory also.
It could be, but skunk apes are really violent, though.
Anything.
Yeah, skunk apes are actually pretty docile in some accounts, so I don't know.
Well, see, that's why I was saying, like, maybe it could have been a skunk ape, like, just messing with her, trying to get her out. But
is there any way you guys can slow my video down, because I don't know. So is there any way you could start to see exactly?
I can play it at a fraction of its speed and actually look more closely if you'd like.
Oh yeah,
they can do that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. I can watch that closely. Yeah, we can actually magnify it too. Yeah, if you don't mind, Southern, I
want you to watch where the.
I'm going to send that to my co-host as well because he's going to want to take a look at that.
That's fine. It's not a problem.
Okay. I got the link for it, so I'm going to go ahead and
make
send
sure
it to him
that you
right
look
now.
on video.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the one where they pick the camera up and run in front of it and knock it down.
Okay.
Because you can see their shadows on the camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not in the trailer. It's in the whole film.
Yeah, you can go there and download your video and get a copy on his YouTube, then download it to the computer, go right to the video and set it as slow as you want.
Yep, I can invert it too, so I can see it in the like negative vision. That way, I can see things more distinctly in the shadows.
Would that be
that would probably be better?
Yeah, it'll give out more ideas of what's there.
Oh my God, it had full spectrum.
Catch something in the wood line.
Yeah, I'll take a close look at that tonight, and I'll let you know what I find. I followed you on Twitter, by the way, so I can message you over there if I find anything.
I gotta follow you back.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can message you if I find anything on there.
I'm
and
just
I'll have Chris get it too. Yeah, I know it's kind of mind-numbing, isn't it?
What's your Twitter handle?
Yeah, the first time I saw a Dogman, I was just kind of like
43 years.
You know, the funny thing is, when I had my Dogman encounter, I didn't even know they existed.
What's your Twitter handle simply?
Where do you live?
I live in Arizona. I'm in southern Arizona.
Was it Clown?
What's your Twitter handle?
God.
Your Twitter name.
I don't know. It's simply.
Here,
so
I can find it.
I'm under one of your. Yeah, I have no idea how to work any of this stuff on computer.
Well, let me see. I got
no, it's so sad.
Okay, hang on. I got it, Clown.
It's all good.
I'll post it in the chat.
All righty. Good, because I only have 4.
Initially,
there you go, bro.
Thank you.
The whole reason of a YouTube channel is because of my kids. Everything crazy happens around me far as supernatural. They got tired of me telling them fitness in it. So they said, here's a YouTube channel, upload everything. So that's what I've been doing. But I don't know how to get on all these sites, so I look like a crazy person.
Yeah, yeah, I'm the same way. Don't feel bad.
And you just fell down a rabbit hole now because now you have to learn about cryptids.
Yeah.
It's like staring into the human brain.
Right? No, I was the same way though, because I was just studying Sasquatch at first, and I had my Dogman encounter, so I was kind of like, "Whoa, all right, I have to know what this is."
Where were you?
I was just, I was in my 20s, and I was at my friend's house because I was actually watching my buddy's house for him while he was on vacay, and I had gone there about midnight, maybe 12:30 at night, to go check on his house one last time, and I was in the back. I was in his backyard, and he has a really long property that goes right into the tree line. And I had seen something. I was just kind of like, oh, maybe it's one of those vagrants, because we get a lot of homeless guys passing through. So at first I paid it no mind. And I was just, doing the stuff I had to do. And then I heard this really deep groan followed by a howl. And I just kind of froze. I was like, oh, crap. And I heard it again. And of course I snapped out of my stupor and I called out to see if anybody was there. And I heard a long growl. It was just this deep guttural growl. And then just at that time, his security lights came on at the perfect time. And it shined right on this thing that was standing maybe about 15 feet away from me. And it was on all fours at first, and it just stood up on two legs, and I heard the popping of the bones. And this thing just stared at me. And I was staring at it, and I could see it tilting its head, and its ears were going up and down. And I was like, okay, what am I looking at, and what the hell? And after it left, I was just obsessed with the whole topic. It was right there.
Do you think, with me being in the southern part of the route, do you possibly think that this thing, instead of Dogman, maybe the Rougarou is Dogman? You see here in the south?
Oh, definitely. There's plenty of reports from them in the south.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Yeah, in the south they have what you guys would call wood boogers.
Yep.
I heard of those.
Yeah, so there's plenty of tales from the south. So yeah, you definitely have stuff down there. Most definitely. You have, types of Sasquatch.
See, I'm right on the coastline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a lot of stuff your way. You really do.
See, I was born and raised in Tennessee. My grandparents were in Georgia, and now I live in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Tennessee is extremely haunted.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And
we have more supernatural stuff than really haunted areas. Like, we have the Wampus Cat, we have the spectral lights, we have green eyes, we have
the green eyes.
Yeah, green eyes is.
Yeah, I'm not too far away from Tombstone, so we have a lot of supernatural stuff as well.
Yeah,
right.
I was talking to Vale. She saw as many as 5 bat squatches out there, but where she lived at, they centered around a cemetery.
Tell her to be careful with those.
I did. I'll play
the thing. Why would they be in a cemetery? You think they eat the body?
There's a lot of debate on that because some tales describe Dogman as being guardian, so that's why they go to the cemeteries. But I actually theorize that maybe as far as Sasquatch goes, it's because, there's a lot of stuff there. There's rabbits in cemeteries, easy prey, and plus it's quiet. They can go there, hang out, and nobody's going to really bother them.
Right.
So it makes sense. It really does.
I mean, if you look at it, most Sasquatches stay in haunted areas or well-known, areas that have been demolished. It's
that just makes me wonder.
Used to be, but kind of abandoned.
Right. Well, an interesting story is one of the investigations I did down here. It was actually in a cemetery that was destroyed by some hoodlums in the area. And it was said to have Dogman there before, but after it was destroyed, man, these things were getting aggressive with people. They were chasing by joggers that, if joggers were running by, they would chase them down. A lot of people were seeing them, so we had to go check it out. And there was a lot of stuff there that was kind of disturbing to see. But yeah, they were pretty pissed off about that cemetery being vandalized.
Maybe they just.
Well, see, now that you say that, I am in that. You can Google it. It's called Hope Cemetery. It's one ones we have here in the South. An old
Right.
And some people came over, and it was claimed that there was a Louisiana-style tomb in it at the cemetery. When I tell you that there's no headstones, everybody has rocks for markers. It's there. I did the investigation on it. Pictures. It's on my page.
Okay.
Did all that good. This incident happened after that.
Oh,
I never found the mausoleum or any of the rubble or claim that was there, because there's so many bushes, you can't find all the graves. You've got to go into the wooded area, and you're walking on just grave after. So I have pictures of everything, but this incident did not happen until after it's connected. Like I said, I didn't believe in all that. I was far as spirits go, because then things don't all.
And so now you just
literally
felt just wait. Once you start watching more videos, learn how crazy this cryptid world is.
Yeah,
there's so much to learn. There's so very much to learn.
Lord.
My experience with Sasquatch, like on my grandfather's dairy farm, I had an encounter with a young Sasquatch, and we had our cows out in the pasture, and we had 4 of them that didn't come back when they were supposed to. When we brought them back in to feed, and so I had to go out and find the missing 4. So I got on the 4-wheeler and everything, and went out, and there was 3 of them that was surrounded around something, and it was this hairy creature. I thought it was a bear at first because it was hunched over one of the yearling calves, and we always carried a gun with us just in case wolves or something or a bear was out there and would, kill one of our calves. And so I pulled out the shotgun and I was riding up closer and closer, and all of a sudden 3 cows moved away, and it looked up and had a human-like face, but more primitive. You know what I mean? Like
throwback features.
Yeah.
Did it have like human ears or anything?
Yeah, it had human-like ears on it, but the teeth is what got me. Like it bit into the flesh of this calf, or this yearling, and when it pulled out, most of its teeth were file, like razor sharp kind of file. And
oh god,
you don't
straight up carnivore.
Yep.
Yeah, like it
meant for tearing.
Yeah, it was a straight meat eater.
Oh yeah.
And the thing, like when I pulled the gun and I pulled my shotgun, cocked it, and I was about to take aim, and it grabbed a year-old, probably about maybe 500-pound yearling calf, and threw it on its shoulder and took off running back into the woods. Like,
did
I
it
don't
already
know,
kill
like
it?
it just grabbed a doll. Like it just grabbed a doll and threw it over its shoulder. And just the leaps that it took, it wasn't just running, it was hopping running.
And they talk about
and
that,
like,
well, that reminds me of that thing up on his live. It was like a goat, but it had sharp teeth. What in the hell was that thing?
But yeah, like
it looked like a
There was a goat or sheep squatch.
Yeah, sheep squatch are nothing to mess with either. Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know what
part
this
of the country.
You know, originally sheep squatch was started in Louisiana, but it's been seen in Virginia, California, all over now. They're just growing in number, I think.
I got a question.
I don't know what kind of squatch or whatever that was.
It sounds like you've seen a type 3 second.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, there's various types, but type 3 are more like the relic hominids. Oh dear God, sheep squatch. Praise.
Yeah.
I've got a question.
Okay, what's up?
Bigfoot kind of like an omnivore. They kind of eat a little bit of anything.
Right.
Humans are like an omnivore. They eat anything. Sheep is an herbivore. Their teeth first eat off plants.
Right.
What the hell's going on with this thing in it with all them damn canines?
You know what I think sheep squatch might be is it's actually I think it's a normal Sasquatch, but it's wearing a headdress. I think it might have killed a sheep or a ram or a goat, and it was just wearing its horns as decoration.
I mean, it could.
That'd be
it could be mimicking like humans.
That's its horns.
I still think what it was is just a headdress, though. I honestly do, because I mean, genetics to work like that, it's impossible. You got to break down the zygotes and everything and do the equations. It just wouldn't be possible. So it's got to be a Sasquatch just wearing a headdress.
But that'd be one hell of a big sheep head over them Bigfoot's head. Friggin' that Bigfoot head was about a time and a half bigger around than a man.
Yeah, I think they find a way to actually tie the horns on. I think they actually skin the sheep or the goat, and they just, take the horns and tie them on somehow.
I show a good bit of intelligence.
It actually looks like it's wearing.
Yep. It's terrifying looking, but yeah, I just think
the
it was
more
a
you look at it, the crazy.
Oh, just wait.
So,
just wait.
What's this type 3?
A type 3 is actually, people call them the relic hominids. And people that see these kinds usually describe them as looking like Neanderthals or cavemen.
Yeah.
But they say that they're very violent, that they always have the really sharp teeth like you described, and they kill without remorse. But some people say you can communicate with them better than the other types. They have a certain understanding of language.
Like it knew, because I said, "Hey, who are you?"
Right.
And that's when it bit into it and pulled a chunk of meat out and just it didn't eat the meat, it just held it in its teeth.
I'm wondering if maybe it killed it when you showed up. Like that was its way of saying, "No, this is my prey." So it killed it real quick and then ran away.
Well, the thing was, it picked it up and just threw it over its shoulder.
Yeah, it just wanted to get out of there in a hurry, I think, because it recognized the gun.
Yeah, I don't know, but I the Geico commercial caveman.
Yeah. So
his face. That's the kind of face it had.
Yeah, that's a type 3. That's what people describe when they see the type 3s.
Yeah.
That's almost like
those are violent.
Oh, those are very violent. Those are the ones that people say will follow you right to your house, and they'll try to break into your house and everything.
Well, the thing was, I shot at it. I shot at it because I had a double barrel shotgun. So I shot both shots at it, but it never. At least my grandfather and grandmother never told me anything about it. But they said I was crazy. They never heard of anything like that.
I don't think you're crazy at all. I mean, it's common sense if you stop and think about it. These things have been around so long, they've been watching us. I'm sure they've seen us kill a lot of things with guns. So when they see them, they kind of know, okay, bad news, got to get out of here.
Right.
Don't feel bad because I didn't want to tell anybody either.
Yeah.
You've heard
I
about
mean, I've
gorillas are not fun, but
What's
they
up, Clown?
sit there and talk gorillas sign language, and
Yeah,
they learn as many as 240 symbols in sign language.
right. Well, here's something interesting too.
Hey, but the ones that get out wild,
Hmm.
I'll sit there signing and telling them I want to go home.
Yep.
That's how smart they are.
Well, here's something too. I don't know if you've seen the video. I can see if I can find it for you. But they actually captured video of orangutans using spears to go fishing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's literally a case of monkey see, monkey do.
Hmm.
They watched us so
Right.
long, they learned how to use spears to go fishing.
And see, that's what I was talking about. Like, what you know, it's one of those things. It's like monkey see, monkey do. Yeah, but
Mhm.
what if they're able to kill a hunter? You hear most hunters that get killed and everything. The gun's usually so many feet away from the hunter. You know what I
Right.
mean? What if they're trying to learn? What if they're trying to learn and mimic the use of a gun?
I think Sasquatch could do that. I think Dogman has
Yeah.
no interest in it. I think Dogman's just kind of like, whatever, leave me alone. But I think Sasquatch would learn to use weapons, though.
Well, but the thing is, like, the size of the hand of that Type 3 that I saw
Hmm.
was bigger than my head.
Oh, yeah, Type 3s are very large when people see them.
Hell,
But like,
that was just
the height of him was probably about my height, and I'm
Right.
6'2".
Well,
But
you
it's
gotta
like,
figure, in evolution, things were bigger at a certain period in time.
right.
And some things shrunk in
Yeah,
size.
like Nana.
Say, right.
Yeah.
that's their question that they put them Neanderthal man in the cave there at the end of World War II. They
Mhm.
reported. And the soldiers went to the cave. They come out with a club to attack them, and they
Yeah.
shot and killed him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
It was wearing a hide for clothing.
Yeah. Yeah, so they are actually beyond intelligent. You can't underestimate their intelligence.
Yeah.
Well, let me
like,
ask you this,
the thing
Ryan.
was that
Mm-hmm.
That are in Yellowstone Park about all these kids coming. Sasquatch has something to do with it.
The missing 411, I think Sasquatch has a lot to do with some of them, but not all of them. In fact, there's a very interesting case that you might want to look up. It's the Dennis Martin case.
I've heard of that one.
That's a heartbreaking story.
Yeah.
It's very interesting at the same time, though. When you read the two reports that go with it.
Is that the one where the missing and then he was found?
Oh, no. They never actually found Dennis Martin. It was 50 years ago. And his poor father, God rest his soul, he died never knowing what happened to his son.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Tell her what happened, Ron.
What's that, Clown?
Tell her what happened.
Okay, well, Dennis Martin was with his dad and a friend and his friend's dad. And they were playing around, just being typical kids. They were playing hide and go seek and tag. And his dad was about 70 feet away from him. And Dennis Martin went to hide behind a bush. And he never came out from that bush. And later on, when his dad was looking for him, he ran, I think, about 2 or 3 miles. But then he realized, a little 7-year-old boy couldn't run that far. So he returned back and he called the cops. And of course, the cops came to look. They didn't find anything. Later on, another family stepped forward and said that while they were hiking just a few miles away, they saw what looked like a very, very tall man covered in fur carrying a sack. But the father of the family actually said it wasn't a sack. It looked more like a little boy. And mysteriously, the military showed up. The military, the FBI showed up. And they would not let his father be part of the search for Dennis. So they search only at night. Very interestingly, they searched only at night for Dennis, never during the day.
Using infrared.
Yeah, and they never found anything. There was nothing they could ever tell the father. And the poor father stayed in the same house that Dennis grew up in, kept his room the same. And
Just in case he ever came back.
Yeah, and the FBI very coldly told him, just get used to your son not being around. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, he never heard any more word of what happened to Dennis, if it was murder, if somebody kidnapped him. Nobody could ever say.
Like, they didn't even tell him.
There's so many reports of
did not find his body.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't even let him know, like, we haven't found his body yet or anything.
Yeah,
It's
they
just
wouldn't they wouldn't tell him anything. And I hate to say it, but I think he was kidnapped by a Sasquatch and it ate him.
Well,
yeah, and then what about the stairway out there? They turtle. And it appears and just didn't come up.
I think the skinwalkers are actually to blame too. Skinwalkers are actually far more dangerous than people want to acknowledge.
Oh yeah.
Everybody blames the Dogman. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's funny because everybody blames Dogman for all these missing 411. But I've been researching Dogman for a very, very long time, and I've never had any violence enacted upon me while doing this. So I don't think it's them. I really don't. There's been more violence with Sasquatch than Dogman.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's. Did you see the recent video of in Canada? There was a logging company that was cutting down like 100 to 200-year-old like pine trees and stuff like that, and there was at least a 12 to 14-foot tall Sasquatch picking up felled trees and throwing them at the construction.
Yeah, I saw that. I think Thinker Thunker did a breakdown on that, didn't he?
I don't know, but I saw it. I saw it through Twitter and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah, and then there was one of a Sasquatch chasing a car too. Did you see that with the family? They were putting a Sasquatch on the side of the road and it started chasing their car. Yeah,
he said Sasquatch is 12 to 14 feet tall.
Yep. Yeah, they weren't doing anything. They weren't trying to antagonize it. They were just driving along, and this thing was chasing them all the way.
Yeah, the one that was throwing the trees at the loggers. Yeah, they said he was at least 13 to 14 foot tall.
Yeah, they get big. They get gigantic.
Oh my god!
And the trees that he was chunking at them was
15 foot.
Was probably about the size of like the Scottish pole throwers in the strength contest. Yeah, he was just throwing them like they were nothing.
That's about a 15 foot long.
Well, see, the thing that hit me was, I'm saying, if I'm guessing, maybe 5.5, maybe 6 foot is what it looked like. I only seen it for a split second.
From the height, the height actually sounds more like a wood booger because they're small. They're more chimpanzee-like in appearance, and they actually behave a lot like chimpanzees.
They like to play tricks too, don't they?
Yeah, they can be devious little monkeys. Yeah, they can be downright sinister sometimes.
You said a wood booger?
Yeah.
The only thing that's
wood
that's
boogers
really
can be very
creepy is that picture the clown put up was the same exact, but just picture that from behind.
Right.
It looked like it. I mean, it was the same face, but I never seen what the head looked like. And it's gonna
was the color the same, or could you tell?
It looked like a dirty sheep hair. It looked like dirty sheep.
So it was like a darker gray in color then.
Right.
So that
it wasn't
older
dark
one.
brown.
All right, so that rules out juvenile. It definitely had to be an older one.
Yeah, that's an older one. That's why I was saying like a matron, because the matron, like the older,
the hand looked like it had some kind of something.
Because of age.
It looked like some
elderly age.
It was just a split 1, 2, 3, boom, and told me it
could have been
was
an
dark.
older male though.
But I did
males get really gur.
Yeah, older males get very protective of people, things.
Let me see if I can find a picture of a wood booger to send to Clowny. He can show you.
I'm looking.
Aren't they all supposed to smell?
Oh yeah, they do. They stink.
Well, some do, some don't. Like the one that I encountered, it had no stink to it.
Let's see. All right, I found one. Clown. Hang on.
Right here.
I got one too. Hang on, I'm gonna send it to you.
Well, see, like the Type 3 that I encountered, that Ryan was saying, Type 3, he didn't stink at all.
No
like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if there's a difference.
I don't know. I mean, if they've been watching us forever, they know, running water.
All right, Clowny, I'm going to send you a couple of pictures right now.
All right.
There you go. There's one of them. I heard that. Okay, there you go. I think with the smells, though, that's actually associated with apes as well. Apes have what's called chemical signal.
Right.
And it's their way of keeping other gorillas off their turf. It emanates from a gland in their armpits.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very musky smell that sometimes burns your nostrils. There you go.
Right. See, normally I thought it was like smell.
Yeah, so that's natural to have. Type 4, yeah.
Type 4.
That's what you saw right there?
Yeah, that Type 4.
All right. Yeah,
except for like his eyebrows look more of the Type 1.
So like a combination of the two.
Right.
Okay. So do you think it could have been a hybrid?
Type 2, what is
a Type 2? That's what you would actually associate with a wood booger. That is a perfect example right there. See how they look chimpanzee-like? Kind of, not exactly, but pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
It looks alien.
It does, but it's very chimp-like in appearance.
Yeah.
And probably really.
So are they violent?
It's possible. I mean, those are the ones that make a lot of the whooping calls. So that's what I heard on your video. I heard a lot of those whoops.
See, that's what I heard too.
Mm-hmm. I saw some tree breaks too. You saw those,
right? Because
oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of tree breaks
I caught
too.
Some EVP, but I can't make out the. I thought I just had a good EVP, but apparently I've caught some.
Yeah, when they talk, they actually it's not really talking. It's not what you and I would consider talking. It's more them mimicking what we do.
There's another rare cryptid for you.
By God.
My God.
Man, that's like a knuckle that would swallow you whole.
Yeah, the one I saw was a combination between that Type 4 and the Type 1.
Do you suppose it could have been a hybrid?
From looking at both of them, maybe, because the hands were huge. Like, the hands did not match the body type.
Were the hands more gorilla-like?
It had long.
Yes.
Okay.
Like the pinky was smaller, and the thumb was bigger.
Okay. Huh? I gotta wonder if that's some kind of inbred right there.
See, I don't know.
Yeah, because I suspect inbreeding is big amongst them. So.
It could have been. But yeah, like when you showed me that picture, that number 4 just struck out at me.
Right.
But like where that one was older looking, the other one was younger looking.
So maybe it was a parent trying to feed its child.
What does the skunk ape look like?
I don't know.
The skunk ape, picture an orangutan, but a much larger version of the orangutan.
Yeah.
So it would be as big as a normal Bigfoot, or
Yeah, oh yeah. In fact, I can find some photos to show you of that too. Because there's a set of infamous photos.
I wonder if that's what it was.
Let's see. Okay, this is the perfect example right here. This is a very famous photo. So I'll go ahead and I'll send that.
Do they have hands?
Yeah, they sometimes do. They sometimes do actually have claws. But, you know, it's not something you'd want to see.
Have
But
you ever seen one?
I've not seen a skunk ape myself, no. But I know people that have.
I was hunting with my uncle in Louisiana, and we ran into some kind of foul odor, but we saw something like in a tree, shaking the tree like crazy, and we got up out of it. We didn't get a good view
I
of
have a
it.
little kayak.
All right, did you get that one, Clown?
Like it smell, and it stunk bad.
Yeah, skunk apes are known to smell really, really bad. Kind of like the combination of body odor, garbage, feces, sweat.
And like dead, like something that's been rotting for a few days.
Right. Or, you know, they kind of smell like that 40-year-old.
Have you ever smelled a little when they've been outside playing in the heat and they like fishy mustard boiled eggs added?
Or
That's what.
So it kind of smelled like that 40-year-old virgin living in his mom's basement.
Right.
There you go. There's a skunk ape for you, Southern.
Yeah,
That a beard?
Yeah, it's got a beard.
Yeah, that was taken here in Florida, if I remember right.
Yep, you're right, Clowny.
Trying to say that was an orangutan.
Oh, no, that's not
Orangutan.
Yeah, that's not an orangutan. No.
Orangutans don't have a
literally
eye
smiling
shot.
at the picture.
Look at the shoulder. Look at the shoulder.
Yep.
Just
Look at the length of the arms.
head, and look at the length. Look how wide it is across the chest.
Wide?
See the width of the shoulder.
High.
Yeah, it was this thing was stealing the apples from some lady, and when she snapped the photos, she didn't even know it was there.
See, that's how it always is.
Wow.
Yep. Until she took the photos. Yeah, she didn't know it was there. She only took 2 photos because when she snapped that one, it lit up because of the flash from the camera. And that's when she saw that thing right there.
I bet you that thing stand up and go 6 feet tall.
Oh yeah, it's a big boy.
See, when I
he knew she was smiling.
Mm-hmm. You see, smiling though, smiling isn't a friendly gesture. Smiling means they're threatening you. It's showing it, saying, "Look at my teeth, I can hurt you."
Yeah, that's why when you smile at a orangutan or a chimpanzee or something in the wild, it wants to attack you.
Yep. Or a gorilla too. A gorilla will attack you for smiling at them.
I know that with the gorilla for sure.
Yeah, and you don't make eye contact. Making eye contact with them is a very bad idea. They take it as a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, I did the wrong thing then because I made eye contact with that type 3 or whatever.
Yeah, that thing there was doing a defensive posture. He's just backing up, hiding, and it's a
Oh, luckily,
yeah, but I also let off 2 shots on it.
Right.
Can you imagine if it went out there on a Gugg-way?
No, thank you. Not today, Satan.
Hey. That people makes like encounters.
No, I'll tell you what, Clown. 15 feet away from a Dogman is fine for me. I don't want to see a Gugg-way 15 feet away because I'll do something involuntary and messy.
Exactly. Have one of things like.
Just wish I knew what.
Right. I mean, luckily, when I had my Dogman encounter, I knew better than to look it in the eyes. That might have been my saving grace right there, is I didn't look it directly in the eyes.
There's things in this world that you're gonna see that's gonna make you question every day.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, once you have an encounter like that, that's it. Everything changes for you.
I had an encounter with the Wampus cat. And I don't know if y'all know what the Wampus cat is or not.
I know what it is. Explain it to Southern men.
I've heard of it.
Okay. All right. Supposedly the legend of the Wampus cat is there was a Native American woman that went to watch the first season hunt of the hunters of the tribe, and the shaman saw her. Well, she hid in a mountain lion's forest, and as her punishment, as a punishment, he transformed her into half human, half cat. So, and the Wampus cat. Wait, what now? But
I think he's. I think he's gonna be right back.
Okay. But ever since then, she has. You see her in, like, the Wampus cat in Tennessee was around Knoxville. She stayed in Knoxville, and she always walked around in beautiful silk, like, and from what I saw of her, she was looking into a designer clothing store, and I could see the bottom of her skirt twitching, and when I looked up at her, her face turned more cat-like, and she hissed at me to get away from her. But I don't know how to describe how she ran away. Like, she ran away, like, have you ever seen cats, you know, like an animal with socks on its paws?
Right. Kind of scurrying across the floor but going nowhere.
Yeah, like, that's how she took off running. But then when she ran around a corner and everything, like, you could see her fall to her feet, you know, like to her hands, and transform and disappear. And that's also where I was going. I was at Knoxville trying to go to the Spectre light.
That's just like Ryan said. Every encounters, I've had mine with, as far as spirit. I really don't know that much about cryptids or anything else. And to me, how many other people have had experience as far as, Bigfoot and
countless,
the Rougarou or whatever.
Well,
so,
now we can come out about
I totally believe.
Well, now we can come out about it. People couldn't come out about it in the 50s and in the 40s and stuff. They think you're crazy and throw you in the asylum.
Yeah, now you can come out and tell your story and nobody's going to judge you, really.
Right. I mean, plus we also have the internet, so it's not just local people telling the same story.
Right. Yeah, there's something you have to be careful of, though, because, we do have the internet. There's a thing called creepypastas. You want to stay away from those.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they present cryptids as factual, but no. Yeah, there's a lot of things out there that will say, oh, cryptids did this, they did that, but it's really just a made-up story.
Yeah.
So you don't want to fall for those.
Is that everything you want to know about cryptids except they made it up?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they say, these are all
Yes,
facts
like
and
who's
this is
the expert?
right, because really there's no experts in this field. We're all trying to find answers. So for somebody to claim, I have all the answers, I'm 100% correct.
Yeah.
No, they don't. Absolutely not.
Exactly.
No, nobody.
There's some
And
far
I
out
don't think
theories
I don't
too.
think we will ever know 100% on it. You know
No,
what I mean?
no, we won't. And there's some crazy theories out there too. People will tell you that Dogman's part man, part dog. They'll tell you Bigfoot's
Yeah.
Nephilim, they're demons or whatever. Yeah, it's just none of those are really accurate. It's not accurate. I see people every day telling me, "Oh, they're Nephilim, they're demons." No, they're not.
No.
They're really
Yeah,
not.
They are their own.
Yeah, they're their own
What's our-
species.
That was brought up
Right. They are definitely their own species. There's nothing demonic
about the
about them.
Nephilim.
Yeah. It's just Nephilim are, they're biblical creatures. Those are the fallen angels' children, and no, these things are not Nephilim.
Yeah, the ones that bred with humans, whatever.
Yeah. Right. So, no, these are not the, offspring of the fallen angels and humans. No.
Yeah.
Just like that DNA study. There's a DNA study done by Melba Ketchum. She claims that Sasquatch is part human, part unknown, and part angel. No, that's not true.
I saw where they got the DNA from water from where I know a Bigfoot had been drinking.
Right.
And
the question is, where did we get angel DNA?
DNA from birds. They got DNA from a primate, almost human, from out that water.
See, here's the thing, though. What they don't tell you is they're counting on the fact that you don't know humans are, in fact, primates. Not monkeys. That's simian.
Right.
Humans are primates.
Right.
And a lot of people in the field of cryptozoology don't want to acknowledge humans are indeed primates. So when they say that Bigfoot is a primate, it's just kind of like, yeah, no kidding. They have the biological definition. Yeah, they are primates, but they're not humans.
Yeah, well, there's almost like ape-like, but almost human.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing: is a lot of people will tell you. Well, people will tell you that Dogman is a primate, but just by definition and physical makeup alone, they are not primates. They have claws. They have fangs. No, they have tails sometimes. Primates don't have tails. They don't have claws. They have nails.
Man is closely related.
Right. And if you look at the biological aspect of primates have forward-facing eyes. Dogmen don't have that. It's just like they have actual claws. They don't have nails, fingernails. They have claws. So again, not primate. So for someone to put out the genetic DNA study and say they're primates or, they're part man, no, they're not. Not at all. It's not accurate.
Like the
You're saying like the Bigfoot came back.
It's close. I think it's a deviation of the evolution of man.
I think they're more the deviation of apes. I think some of them are more deviation of apes, though. I mean, even Jane Goodall was saying that she believes Sasquatch is an ape.
Hey, look at the hobbits.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more believable.
What was Neanderthal-like beings, and they found what skeletons. They know to use weapons. It was a primitive human being also. It didn't make it.
Right, but the thing is, though, is like, when you look at, say, the Gugg-way or the wood boogers that have the more ape-like features, that's just not in a human makeup. So they are distinctly more simian than Homo sapien. And the whole crossbreeding, like Melba Ketchum will tell you that, the original mother of Sasquatch was a human. Humans can't breed with chimpanzees or gorillas or anything like that. The chromosomes don't line up, and chromosomes play a huge part in procreation.
Well, see, like my encounter,
it would basically abort itself.
Right, exactly.
Well, like my encounter, it looks just like a storybook Neanderthal, But because
do you think that they're aliens?
Sharpen its own teeth?
I don't think so. I think they're some kind of ape that we haven't yet discovered. You know, because if you look at the facial features, you know, the baboon-like snout, the gorilla-like face, the chimp-like face, you know, that's a deviation from the ape evolution.
Yeah. Well, see, like the type 3 or whatever, like I saw,
Mm-hmm.
the teeth were literally filed down.
Right.
How do you know?
Like, what ape files its own teeth?
But how do you know they filed out? Why couldn't they just grow them that way naturally?
You know, like when a child draws sharp teeth,
Mm-hmm.
that's literally how the teeth looked in its mouth.
Okay.
Was like a 3-year-old's drawing of sharp teeth, triangles.
It could be a natural thing though, because to file them down, that would actually hurt. Yeah, if you actually think filing down your teeth, that's actually extremely, extremely painful.
Right.
You know,
I'm just saying. I mean,
I would have to say that that's just how they were grown. You know, that's just a natural part of their biology.
Yeah, it just seems unnatural to, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
If you look at it, just because they look like triangles.
Yeah,
like
that would indicate they're a predator. Yeah, that definitely indicates that they're, you know, solely a predator, that it's made for eating meat.
Right.
You know, another thing to actually take into consideration when they talk about this human Sasquatch interbreeding, you know, think about how tall people always say Sasquatch is. You know, 14, 15 feet tall, well over 2,000 pounds. Okay, stop and think. Certain parts of his anatomy are going to be way too big for a human to actually withstand.
Yeah.
It's not physically possible.
Hope.
Right? You know, so
yeah, I mean,
come on.
You would literally be dragging the ground.
Yeah.
If it's a male.
Exactly. It would tear that woman apart, tear her right in half. So I
don't videos of the horses.
Hey, I retired from Louisiana State Penitentiary. I heard about a woman that tried to smuggle in a fifth of Jack Daniels. Girl, man, there was a prisoner.
Wow.
Had a whole fifth up there. They wasn't nothing but the cap with the label sticking out.
Oh, ouch!
Wow.
Hey, you clown! I'm a retired deputy constable, and I had one woman come in there with a 9mm shove. Not a hard time getting it.
Oh my God!
Promise.
My Lord.
Damn it! Now they had a male inmate that they busted.
She was
in
bringing
the
in cell phones.
He had a pistol up his butt, and it loaded. It was a freaking revolver.
Oh my God! Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just farted. He exploded mine.
Oh my God.
Well, he could never say he was.
Yeah, that same girl would smuggle in cell phones, like 4 or 5.
Oh my gosh! Ouch! That actually made me cross my legs. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Cringe, but she was walking normal.
My only question is how. That's it. I don't want to know. I'm just wondering
I don't know how it is humanly possible.
Oh my God! Ow! Ouch!
Yeah, that's one of those things.
I seen the X-ray and I was going after that.
That's just disgusting. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff you got to watch out for though when you're studying cryptids. There is. There's a lot of stuff. Don't believe all the stories you hear either. Yeah, it's kind of funny because a friend of mine, I don't want to mention his name, but a friend of mine is kind of telling a story on his website right now that to everybody in the crypto field, we know this is a crock of shit. We're sitting there just rubbing our temples going, why are you lying about this kind of stuff? But yeah, it's a kind of story where he shouldn't make it up and present it as fact because he has all these people believing him, and it's not right to do, you know, because you're lying about cryptozoology. And this is why cryptozoologists have such a hard time getting accepted by science.
See,
when you start doing stuff like that.
He's stating like that.
Yeah, well, what he's doing is he's claiming that a government agent is leaking information to him. You know, we're sitting there, we're listening to the details. We're listening to the details going, Right, we're listening going, wait a minute. He's going to tell you he killed this cryptid in this state for this reason, and it's not going to blow his cover, and yet there's only 12 people on his team. If this were real, they would narrow it down to him in no time.
Not lying. We'll be here in front lines of a bounty on somebody's head.
Right? So it's a shame that, he's lying like that.
That is. It really is. What is he doing it like?
Well, he has a narration channel. He has No, it's a narration on YouTube. It's a narration site on YouTube where he tells different people's encounters that are supposedly true. But these particular stories, he's saying are 100% factual.
That's what you call a view for.
How can he say that? He doesn't know.
No, he doesn't. That's why I'm saying I think he made it up. It's something he's written by himself.
That's what you call a view for.
Exactly. Yeah, he's doing it for views. He's doing it for submission, for subs, and he's doing it for clicks, and it's not right.
Well, you know what? There's one thing that I don't like, and that's a liar, and that would several subs.
Right.
Once they find him out.
The thing is, though, is he's made some promises with his stories that once this FBI agent, and I use that in quotations, once this FBI agent retires, he's going to present clear photos of Dogman, werewolves, Bigfoot, and he's going to give recordings of all these cryptids, too. And I'm just sitting there going, how's he going to back this up?
So when is the guy Never?
No, he's actually supposed to retire on the 9th of this month.
Wow, I'm going to check into that.
So we're all sitting there going, really? This guy's going to drop the evidence we've been waiting for in just a week? Really?
Yeah.
That's some mighty big claims.
Think about if the government was being on something like that, have this kind of material, and if somebody presented it, the full weight of the government would drop on them. They want to know where
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that this agent is supposedly sending him emails on a daily basis, that right there is a red flag.
Yeah. And have you heard of Raptor?
Right.
Raptor?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Damn well, if this was a covert operation, this guy was part of that team, his emails are, they're monitored. His phone calls are monitored. He's monitored on a daily basis.
For anybody who's not aware of it, Raptor is a tool that the government uses. They can open the email up, read it, copy it, whatever they want to do with it, make it closed like it's never opened, and follow the user's IPP trail across the internet.
Right.
Anything you looked at for like 2 years, they can back across.
Yeah. Yeah, so as he's telling this story,
all right, everybody, I gotta get off here. I gotta go use the bathroom, and I gotta hobble.
All right, second. You have a good night, man.
You said hobble.
Hey, y'all have a good one. Y'all take care.
You too.
Be
safe. Yes, sir. Y'all too.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting thing because we were all friends with him, and now that he's telling these stories, we're kind of going, wait a minute, what are you doing? So we want to confront him on it, but we're just kind of going,
Associating you with them kind of makes you look bad.
Right, but that's why we've already told our people, we're not in on that. We don't believe it. So, and a lot of people are starting to question him and go, hey, if this is real, come on now.
Basically,
he's provident.
We point out the facts to people. We tell them if this was a real government agent, come on, there's a lot of things that he's getting wrong in his answers. So, if I'm catching those things and I'm going, whoa, wait a minute, what? It could be. It could be. I think really all he's doing it for is
the government.
I think it's all done for views. I think what he's doing it for is to get more people to, tune into his channel. More views means more money.
Thank you, Blake. I appreciate you so much. Yeah. More or less what he's done.
So yeah,
more or less what he's done. He got in there, made buddies with y'all, got the connections going, and now he's going out and doing his own thing. Gonna leave y'all holding the damn bag.
Right, exactly. He's making us look foolish when really he's gonna look foolish.
Right.
Ooh, how you doing there, Blake?
I mean,
it's sad. This is the world of cryptozoology, though. You really got to watch out for those guys that are gonna kick you when you're down.
That's why I was saying anything, and I never really believed too much to know what was true or not. I didn't know anyone that's actually experienced it. So that's why I just kept my mouth closed.
Right, and that's usually a good thing to do. I mean, it's cool though that you had your encounter, you wanted to tell somebody about it. It's definitely cool that you did that. More people need to do that.
Hey, glad you come by the channel.
And honestly, I would have never.
Yeah, Clowney's bringing me a lot of people that have had encounters here. I'm grateful for that. We appreciate you, Clown.
I appreciate y'all.
He needs all.
Yeah, he's going to be on our show.
Hey, I need
Saturday.
one of
We'll have to get you on our show too, Southern.
Yeah, always. We're gonna be locked down tomorrow night, Blake, here in Florida. Well, tonight now at midnight. Can't be nowhere except to go to the doctor, or the grocery store.
Ooh, boy.
Oh no!
So I gotta get water and grocery ton in tomorrow. On the bright side, I still got my damn
Where's
Yeah, we're gonna be going into lockdown too, I think, pretty soon.
Oh, they fixed it with it. I already heard they fixed it, shut it down. It's important to stop all this for 30 days to let that virus taper off.
Right.
Once about it, they can't heal them. They're gonna die, but they don't want people intermingling, spreading, and contaminating.
Right.
That's like it's a basketball court.
5 degrees here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a basketball court and a tennis court not far from me, like a 5-minute walk. And I mean, they come inside playing basketball, sweat and slobber flying after playing tennis. You go to walk on the sidewalk and they won't move away from you and have your elbows with them.
Yeah, this virus is getting out of hand. It's crazy. I never actually thought that I would see something like this. This is just terrible. This is so frightening right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. It's
Hopefully
insane.
that cold front will go off.
Hopefully. Well, we'll see. I'm really hoping that this will be over. I hear a lot of people saying it'll be over by the end of next month, but I keep telling them, no, man, this is going to be a long struggle.
All right.
I'm saying July.
Yeah. If we're lucky, July. I'm going to say at least 6 to 7 months, maybe a year.
I'm dropping that link there for abandoned places with Blake there. Would y'all check his channel out, please?
Yeah, I'll subscribe to him right now. I'll drop him a sub. I'll go do that right now for him. There we go.
Yeah, he said he's gonna pick everybody up. So let me drop it.
What's his name, Clown?
Exploring abandoned places with Blake, I think. I'm not looking at the channel chat anymore. I'm on Miss Highlighter's page getting her link. Abandoned places with Blake. Yeah.
There you go, Blake. You got a sub, bro.
There we go.
Yep, I just. I think I got 3 subscribers. I think.
Dang, Clown, pretty soon you're going to be catching up to Chris and I.
That's it. I'm glad you come over. You're coming around there. I can see if I can get you promoted on up. I can play your videos and promote your channel. I can definitely get you built up.
Yeah, hopefully we can get you to the 1K mark there, Clowny.
I hope so, bro.
I think we will. Once you come on our show, all our subs will sub to you.
Bro, I hope so. I got the 4K of viewing hours.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, I'm hitting like 20 hours days some days. Nothing. I'm eating, living, and crapping damn YouTube.
That's what you have to do. That's exactly what you have to do.
Clown, I need one of them hats.
Yeah, we would have done more live streams, but Chris's family is kind of going through a turmoil right now too. So
yeah, I hate to hear that. Yeah, there. I've got this when I was coming back from that abandoned prison, done a prison investigation, and stopped off at a convenience store at random. They had a whole rack full of suckers. Right? They had bunches of them, just like 2 rows. There must have been 50 damn hats.
Well, if you find another one, let me know. I hate to have to go out to my backyard and get me one.
That's the best.
I'll pay you back.
All right, well, that's good to check that out, Frank. Hey, you notice something about the about that? See the texture? It's not real. It's not real, bro.
Yeah, it's faux fur.
Yeah, faux fur.
Don't worry about getting fleas.
That's good. Oh, I had somebody that in one of my videos just recently talking about, oh, well, I hope that's not a real coon you've got on your head. I was like, nah, it's just your skin.
My nickname is Ellie Mae. You wear a real one.
Okay. Well, you come on, we'll keep promoting your channel there on Blake. Next time you do a live, I'll try to come pay you a house call. But yeah, they did.
Now, what was the guy's name that's on live?
Second star. Oh, he didn't tell you what happened to him.
What?
What happened to him?
He was at that damn asylum there in Austin, Texas. And he felt a hand and claws scratch the back of his neck, reached in, grabbed the back of his hoodie, and threw him down a flight of stairs. He got all kind of pins holding his leg together now. He didn't have a cell phone, so he had to get all over an hour.
Ouch. That's rough.
Was he alone?
Yep.
That's why you never go alone.
Shit, that's why I go alone.
Right, that's dangerous.
Yeah, that is very dangerous.
I'm from the land of the rising sun. I say, bring it up. Hey,
but you know, and I take into account it is.
Hey, I can't say I'm from the land of the rising sun. I'm from the land of the rising sun.
If you want to experience, I'm telling you, Clown, hang out today. You'll be begging to go back home. You'll see levitate. My husband had him yesterday.
I just come from Cobb Cemetery.
Just wait till Clown comes out here. Once Clown comes out to Arizona, I'm gonna take him dogman hunting.
Oh, bro, I used to go out and broke up, Blake. I was out there in Cobb there a couple of months back with my sister. The demon that was there actually took on physical form. He was about 6'5". His black was like silver striping, his jagged striping. Hands go down past the knees. And I don't have a good zoom lens on my Canon camera. So I see it. And I was like, Katie. And before I could say, look at there, he kind of turned to the left. It was gone.
That's crazy.
I'm out there studying, like, circling. And it was glowing red eyes. What?
First time that you've seen it?
That one, yes.
Is that the first seen it?
Yeah, that was the first time I seen it in physical form like that, with a light on it. I've seen it hit the ground and push it black with like a silver stripe. I seen him land one night and didn't have the light on, but he was black and black. See the silhouette? It done like a Superman, hit the ground and the pitch went down and hit the car on open hand, hit the ground, and landed in a squatted position. His eyes both red.
See, that sounds to me like a shadow figure, and they are more demon actually. You get shadow people that will mess you up, and they like to show themselves a lot.
Damn it, they stole all the guns out of Bass Pro. Oh, I've been out there and had some fun. It's scary stuff. They show a lot about to it.
Yeah, I've not seen a shadow person yet. I don't really want to, but I'm sure I will.
Oh, right, ain't that more fun than like hey, ain't that more fun than like I was about the abandoned church? That something slammed my camera back into my face.
Yeah, wait till Clowney comes out to Arizona. I'll have to reprimand him. Clowney, we don't talk shit to the dog, man.
Sure I do. I better some
Right.
1 quarter alley cat. Hey, you 1 quarter alley cat. Say your mom.
When those things are chasing us, I'll remind you of that.
Hey, you tell them your mom. Tell them their mama banging the dog catcher.
Yeah, just don't tell them you ain't nothing but a hound dog.
I'll keep an eye out for you there. Yeah, I'll be like going out there, man, and I'll keep an eye out for you. By God.
My God.
Me saying that before it's over with.
Oh, you will. Trust me. He's got me and all my friends saying it all the time. All my buddies and I say it now all the time. My God.
Yeah, I'm going to get that Petroleum Chester. I'm going to name him By God.
You have to get that put on a shirt. Get that put on a hoodie and everybody will buy it. By God.
That's it.
With a big old jar of peanut butter behind it.
Yup.
Well, what we could do like make that a brand name, be like By God Peanut Butter. Ooh, you take one bite, you'll say By God.
The whole yes.
That would work. That'd be awesome for you to do. All right, good people. I got to head on off so I can get me some rest. But you guys have a great night, okay?
All right. Thanks for coming, Ron.
So I'm headed.
Never a problem. And Southern,
So I'm going
you on Twitter.
out.
Yeah, I got 2 videos.
All right, and I'm going to.
Okay, I'll message you tomorrow and I'll drop you some information about Sasquatch and whatnot.
That'll work.
All right. Good sleep.
Okay. You guys have a great night.
Sometime today I'll have a brand new video out for the cob I shot tonight or tomorrow. Y'all have a good one.
Gotta put up. You too, babe. Good night.
Ooh. Good night there, Ryan. Yep. You see that wreck behind us in the background? That's that abandoned church. Take it easy there, Seconds Calm Star. Take it easy there, Simply. Well, it looked like we done rode this one down into the ground. Broke it off long and deep and proper. I believe I'm going to shut this mother down for a bit. Got 2 videos to edit. Have a good one there, Second Star. We wish you for a speedy recovery there, bro. I think there'll be some video editing. I got like 3 videos now to edit. Hell, I don't remember. I lost count. I'm a clown. I ain't a goddamn mathematician. But I'm going to get loose and start editing, and I'll figure it out. In the meantime, I'll see you in a few.